Alright, carnal mother appreciators. Anyway, we got, Trace isn't here today, so we're doing, Cyclonials. I want to talk about Andrew Hussey for a fucking second before we start. Alright. Because I have and still am somebody who enjoyed Homestuck. And, that's great. You know, some of Andrew Hussey's art is fun and weird and goofy, but I have heard some shit about Andrew Hussey that makes me feel like they should never be allowed to work with authority over other people. Like they should never employ others. That aside, I'm gonna play Cyclonials. We'll see what this shit's about. And then yeah. Also, yeah, fucking Cloud Tree Pencil is as close as I could get. Cotton is not a fucking emoji, so okay, let's move over. Let's move over to the video games. I have no idea what I'm in for with Cyclonials. Let's go. But I do know it's not suitable for minors. So let's get in here. Here's the story. So let's hit our options. Sound, more options. It's pretty loud for me. I feel like it's a little loud, but who knows? We can turn the master volume down if we need to. More options. Alright. Pretty low amount of options here in terms of like there's no like full screen whatever. It's just what it is. So let's try. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit so I'm a little more comfortable with it. That's good. Resume story. Main menu. Wait, what? There we go. Start. Oh yeah, I guess we're gonna be in for a lot of reading, which I normally don't do for stream games. If I pick a game that is not ideal for streaming, that's usually because I picked it at the last minute. And this is true today. Anyway. Okay, that's gonna be a little better. An island off the United States, 10 miles wide, and most of the year, a little over 10,000 people leave. We can go back and we can save at any time. They call it Summer Colony. When the weather gets warm, the number of people pushing down on the island swells to around 50,000. That's what a way to describe that. Also, this music is very interesting. Okay, let's save. Let's bring a save in here. Yeah, I usually don't consider games with a lot of reading to be games that I typically want to stream. The town here shares its name with the island. You live here. You're one of the residents pushing down on the place year-round. Year-round island pusher. The steady residents don't contribute much weight though. Off-season life is like a reprieve for the island. Like lifting the load off the back of a perennial workhorse. The summer crush is a different story. 100,000 feet at once give you the impression the seasonal colonists have all conspired to shove this charming New England rock right back into the ocean. But 2020 is different. You don't see it happening this year. Can't say you're heartbroken about it either. Your name is Zen. It's pronounced more like Jen than Zen. So let's go back. Your name is Jin. But most people have been determined to mispronounce your name since elementary school. So at some point you decided to go by Z, and it stuck. Let's just leave over there. Stuck it to your parents too, sorta, who endowed you with the romanization of a name which would either guarantee a lifetime of correcting people or interminably acquiescing to their wrongness. We're gonna take a brief intermission time right now to talk about Leo Laporte. So, if any of y'all watched Tech TV, you know, ZDTV I think became Tech TV, became G4. But if any of y'all watched Tech TV on cable, and are familiar with the old, like, Call for Help, the Screensavers, or maybe you're familiar with Leo Laporte's newer work on the Twit Netcast network, whatever. He's a tech pundit. Let's just describe Leo Laporte as a tech pundit. Now, Leo Laporte has talked about the fact that their name was not supposed to be Leo. Their given name is Leo. Rhymes with Mayo. Leo, which is how they would describe it to people. But they started going by Leo for just fucking everybody said Leo, because it's spelled Leo or whatever, I don't know, but everyone said Leo. And so he's like, fine, fuck it, I'm Leo, I guess. And you know, that's the energy of this kind of name, shenaniganery. That's our name shenaniganery corner. You like Z better anyway because it's yours, not theirs. It's roughly 3 p.m. and you have just woken up. Earlier than yesterday, so that's a plus. And with a bit of a hangover, but that's far from unusual. Your bedroom is a bit messy, but you don't notice anymore. It's a cozy little depression nest, and it serves its purpose well, which is to store the body of a depressed 23-year-old woman when she's not working. Whilst the decor manages to accurately reflect her personality and emotional landscape... Wow, I said that like the sentence was gonna keep going. Yeah, Flun, you got me. Ordinarily, you'd reach for your smartphone before even getting out of bed, and whittle away the first hour of the day scrolling through the timelines of your various accounts. But for whatever reason, today feels a little different. You stand up to stretch your legs, and have a look around you to reacquaint yourself with the artifacts of your life, which have achieved invisibility through familiarity. You've had this exact arrangement of posters taped to your wall since you moved here. Before that, actually. These posters were on the wall of your dorm in college, in this exact pattern. Where the time came to make your desperate getaway from campus, you ripped it off your wall in one big taped together mass, rolled it up, and hit the road. So let's take a moment. Alright, so I'm seeing what is probably the ICP up in the middle here, and we're seeing Carcat Vantis down here as well. You know, very pixelated, but okay, so we got probably Solid Snake on the left. And I cannot tell who this motherfucker on the right is, but maybe you can. Then when you got here, you simply unrolled it and put it back up. Why mess with it? This particular hodgepodge of pop culture nonsense says as much about yourself as you'd ever care to say using a wall. Maybe it's a consequence of the media you consume that made you feel this way, but you've always believed you can tell a lot about a person by studying the things they used to like. In fact, you might even go as far as say, in this era, an individual's personality isn't much more than a composite of all the media they've ever consumed, and their favorite stuff in particular. That's why whenever you meet someone new, you kinda wish you could just look at their bedroom and take a quick tour of all their interests, sparing you a lot of laborious banter and wondering over whether someone's worth your time. Again, it could be certain types of content you consumed in your past which resulted in this philosophy, but you can't be sure. All you can do is refresh your memory on your various interests to reaffirm who you are to yourself, along with any imaginary voyeurs who have inexplicably decided to tune into your underwhelming morning ritual. Okay, so yes, Solid Snake, yep, that's your Metal Gear Solid poster. You have created a number of fanworks for this series, and not a single one of them is suitable for children. Very few are suitable for most adults, actually. But never mind that. You think Kojima has an advanced understanding of war which has eluded authors far more celebrated than he. You also think Kojima has an advanced understanding of horny gay men with enormous butts, which is an asset of far greater literary value in your opinion. Good time to save. Insane Clown Posse, of course. You're way out of this by now, but you had a juggalo phase in high school. The reason for this decision was extraordinarily complex and layered, far over the head of anyone who would be inclined to wonder. If you even need to ask why, being down with the clown cannot be fully explained. You mainly keep this up as a reminder of your roots. A reminder of a philosophy toward family which you prefer to more conventional definitions. And there's something to that. You've had this up since 2017, which is before Post went apeshit with all the face tattoos. Oh, it's Post Malone? That's why I don't know them. Increasingly these days, he seems determined to look like hot garbage, and yet the uglier he gets, the more fond of him you grow. You'll never forsake this kind-hearted goblin prince. He could tattoo a dick on his face, and you'd probably weep tears of joy. It's like you said when you checked out the ICP poster, you like to keep reminders of your pop cultural roots. It was a long story you read when you were young. You almost never talk about it now, but this guy's here to remind you. Whether you like it or not, it's a part of you now. The calendar marks the days for your shifts at a local restaurant, where you work as a waitress. The page is set to February 2020, but this is wrong. The pandemic sent you into an unusually bleak depression spiral, so you haven't flipped the page in months. This is right. The date is April 20th, 2020. You guess you labeled a lot of these months in advance at the beginning of the year when you were in higher spirits. A week ago was a day relevant to your childhood interest, so you facetiously drew a little doodle to commemorate. And today, of course, is Weed Day. Not that you actually smoke weed. Mostly on account of being too lazy to bother acquiring any. But that doesn't mean the annual milestone shouldn't be solemnly honored with the gravity of a religious holiday. As you stare at the calendar, you mostly just can't believe it's almost May already. Has it really been that long since you went to work? You guess that must be right. Early March was the last day the restaurant was open, and you've been holed up here ever since without pay. You've gotten by borrowing rent money from your friend, Abby. Who's also been shut in since the outbreak again. Not seeing her in months, not seeing anyone really. Has had a very negative effect on your mental health. And probably the biggest reason you've been waking up so late these days. There's a ton of computer equipment here lying dormant. It hasn't been powered up in years, actually. Doing so would probably remind you of your college traumas. Sometimes you wonder if you'll ever turn it on again. That's probably for the best. Your hacking days are behind you. A lot of those old projects you were working on could have gotten you into some serious trouble. These days, it's all about cultivating your brand, although it hasn't been going that well. More to the point, you'd probably be the first to admit your online brand is, fairly shitty. But one has to start somewhere. Rebuilding a social media presence after a series of psychologically devastating catastrophes doesn't happen overnight. On the floor is a printout of your manifesto. You wrote this a few years ago before your life melted down. It began as an ironic exercise, but the more you wrote, the less ironic it became. You completed it. Oh, I'm yawning again. Just before the series of calamitous events leading to the aforementioned meltdown. You doubt this is a total coincidence. Since Abby likes to point out, only crazy people write manifestos, which is more than a little hypocritical since she's been actively writing one herself. Still, hers is pretty light reading, and revolves around her secret RPF shipping theories, whereas the Jubilite Manifesto is an incendiary piece of left-wing literature that happens to revolve around unrepentant clownery. She's probably right to say it's for the best you never pick this thing up again. Hi, Oswin. You stroll down special interest. Your stroll down special interest lane has delayed the inevitable long enough. Time to get pulled into the vortex of your traditional wake-up scrolling binge. The timelines, the threads, the feeds, the comments. They won't brainlessly ogle themselves. You pause to admire your lock screen. It's a more recent pic of your boy Post, complete with all of his most recent, utterly grotesque tattoos. The man is looking like fresh hell. Your heart palpitates and you feel momentarily nauseous. But you regain your composure long enough to unlock your phone. Your phone unlocks, there's your background. It's a gratuitously pornographic piece of fan art depicting two muscular homosexual soldiers caught in the throes of passion. You keep this one on as your unlocked screen so that prying eyes in public don't get a gander of material which some may find inappropriate. But as your wise-ass friend has pointed out, the Malone lock screen is arguably more indecent to flash in public. But enough dithering over your gallery of obscene mails, time to check your accounts! Most of your effort in attempting to build a brand, yeah, Fawn. That's your choice. It's gone into your Instagram account. As a new influencer trying to get your footing, you've been tinkering with something in the e-girl genre. So far you aren't doing anything too crazy. Your Dadaist impulses are what your TikTok is for. Here it's mostly a bunch of tame, silly shots of you posing around the island. The boys love it when you go to the beach for some reason. They're very basic. Your light following mostly attracts a bunch of simps, reply guys, and rude remarks to the comments section. There's no sugarcoating it. Your TikTok is just plain weird, full of avant-garde shitposts of a humorous nature usually performed in a completely deadpan manner, and with oblique intent to the average user of this platform. Sometimes you'll knowingly post cringe, always ironically though, which as far as you're concerned, is dynamite content. Not many people understand it, though a handful of your loyal simps in your follower list always seem to lap it up. Abby never misses an opportunity to reprimand you for cringe posting. This is to be expected though, she's a pro after all, and even you know your cringe posts are indefensible. That's entirely the point. Twitter is bad. You hardly use this account, but you keep it on hand for the sake of continuing to receive abuse? You're not sure. The doxings and harassment have finally died down over the last year. Nothing close to what they were just after your meltdown. The persecution for your past crimes is barely at a trickle now, which is a double-edged sword. Sure, it's nice to get fewer death threats, but it's also a sign that no one really cares enough to bother, which is bad for the brand. It's been a few days since you posted any content. The fans are getting restless. Well, not really, but they're restless in your anxious imagination. You were just shy of 1,000 followers. Maybe a new post will push it over the edge. Of course, you understand the crowd isn't that eager for more content. You know, it's a common affliction among aspiring influencers the need to keep pushing content out of fear of their followers getting bored. As if they're a slobbering pack of wild dogs, insatiable beasts who must have more. But you're not an idiot, and you follow plenty of accounts too. And you know, you could barely give a shit if even your favorite accounts stopped posting for a while. They can chill if they want. It would simply not affect your life. Your posting habits are more a matter of personal ethos. If you want to build a brand, the content must flow. And so you shall make it flow. But what to post? That's always the burning question. You fire up TikTok because that's where the shitposts go, and God knows you don't have the energy for assembling a respectable e-girl fit or fixing up your makeup. You try to think of more funny deadpan nonsense you can bullshit your way through while lying in bed. Well, not before fixing yourself up a little. Christ, you look like hell. You fix your hair a bit. Nope, still bad. Black. You know what, fuck it. You're just going to use an absurd filter and crank the irony dial all the way up. Looking more and more like it's gonna be Cringe Post Monday. You start babbling incoherently. You even turned on a voice filter to maximize the cringe factor. What are you even saying? You have no idea where this is going. You play it back and yikes! It's hard to even get through the whole thing. It's dealing massive amounts of psychic damage. Perfect, actually. This is what you were going for. Let the simps grit their teeth through every second of this monstrosity and thank you for it. Truth be told, this is the caliber of content they deserve. Yep, the reply guys are lining up to kiss your ass as usual. The usual suspects every time. A little entourage of loyal and I'm trying to leave lascivious. Lascivious? Lascivious? I'm gonna go with lascivious, hype man. It's sort of adorable and disgusting to you, simultaneously. Actually, maybe more disgusting than usual today. That feeling is creeping in. Disgust, not with the boys per se, it runs deeper than that. Your post fucking sucked and you're on the verge of regretting it. Why is it always like this, pushing out content after hitting submit? Equal odds the sense of loathing begins to settle in. Was the post a good idea? Could it have been better? Should you just not have bothered at all? It makes you feel crazy, this media landscape. Above all, you think your disgust isn't so much about this specific post as it is with a general lack of direction and inspiration. What the fuck are you even trying to do? What are you about? You're too depressed to come up with answers today, but then, that seems to be true every day. You log off TikTok with dismay. You're getting a DM on Discord. It's your friend Abby. Not surprising, since she almost always hits you up after you post some content, usually with some friendly critique. Today is probably no different, and you have a feeling you already know what she's going to say. Isn't it a bit early in the day to be sad posting cringe? You usually have the courtesy to wait till I'm sound asleep and you're drunk off your ass. Fuck off, I know it's cringe. So this is what it's come to. Your brand as an ironic cringe poster is congealing before my eyes. I guess. It's hard to come up with, ideas for shit. Ain't that the truth? What are you talking about? All you do is post vids of you looking hot and saying dumb shit. Yeah. That's a hell of a brand if you can make it work, which obviously can. At least you know what you're about. I'm still trying to figure that out. Hasn't been going well lately. It's easy, you are also about looking hot and posting cringe apparently. Well, not fucking hot enough, not like you. Nonsense, the sizzling bitch plastered all across my TL begs to differ, and the gentleman callers you have attracted to your content, they seem none too displeased. Christ. Whoa, and what's this, Z? You crossed the 1,000 follower mark! See, you're being so down on yourself for nothing. You're well on your way to the big leagues. Fuck is this patronizing shit? Besides, how am I even on your TL? You don't even fucking follow me. You're too embarrassed to remember. Cause it would hurt your brand if people could check your follow list and see all my freak ass with all of my past baggage. Well, that's not fair. You know the game, Z. How many of your fucking 3 million followers would really lose if you followed me? I do follow you, with an all. You know this. I mean on your main, Abby. What would it cost you realistically if I just showed up on that list? No fanfare, no shoutouts, any bullshit like that. Just one friend following another cause she's got her back. You lose what? A few grand maybe? Even then it'd be just a handful of snarling cunts you don't need stinking up the joint anyway. It's not even about that, it's about keeping the discourse down, come on. I mean, not to sound like a bitch, but I couldn't handle the shit you went through. You know damn well we both got the same kind of dirt on us, but But what? But you already fucked yourself up, and I'm still keeping a lid on all, delicately? If you thought it was rough for you, think about what it would be like for me at my level of visibility. Oh, I see how it fucking is. You're too famous so you'd fall harder than I did? It's fine I got thrown to the wolves because I'm a nobody, right? No, I mean, I had to go to the fucking hospital, Abby. Okay, fuck, I'll follow you. Jesus, I was just messing with you. Why do you have to turn into such a serious thing? I don't know. It's fine, actually, don't follow me. I know exactly why you don't. I'm just being shitty because I'm in a bad mood. You're right, of course. If it triggered discourse, they'd be the ones to take the most of the heat anyway. I just need to keep piecing my brand together the old-fashioned way. Old-fashioned, like horse and carriage shit? Yes, Abby. That's exactly what I mean, like how people used to cultivate their social media platforms when everybody owned horses. What? Horses? What? I was fucking joking. I mean, just figure it out. What I'm trying to do or say here. Let people who are into that come to me naturally. The type of people who wouldn't give a fuck about what my past is like. I know you were joking. Can you please just let it go unsaid for once that we always both know when you were joking? We always joking. We get the shit. We are not basic bitches. Yeah, I know you know. My dry response to you was also a joke, idiot. Can you cool it on the key smashing? I'm still fucking hungover and it's the texting equivalent of listening to noisy traffic. Chaotic juxtaposition, Dharma! autocorrected key smash exclamation to take the edge off for my poor and feeble friend. Oh, I do that sometimes. It is one of my good goofs, as you know. Whenever you do that, it's only funny to you. It's just confusing to everyone else. Nope, it's objectively hilarious to all involved. Has anyone ever not been confused when you do it? Well, as if I ever even talked to anyone much but you. At least maybe we can agree the notion of chaotic juxtaposition dharma sounds pretty cool, whatever that even means. Fuck yeah. That's why I thought you might be bringing up a worthwhile topic, then, rather than continue to destroy my morning with your useless brain garbage. Lamau, morning? It's almost fucking 4, bitch! Good point, I gotta get going. Okay, any sign of you getting back to work yet? No, thinking that job is toast for good. Shit, why? For a while I was hearing stuff from the owner about reopening the restaurant and getting ready for summer, but I haven't heard from her in weeks. I think she might have given up on the whole idea. There'll be... there'll even be a tourist season and just left the fucking island. Or maybe she just got the Rona and died. It's fine, I don't really care. Okay, but what about rent? You need me to send more money or...? No, I'm alright. I think I just won't pay rent this time. I don't give a fuck anymore. What's the city gonna do, evict me? Good luck with that, bro. Incredible attitude, I love you. Okay, gonna eat some shit right now because I feel bad. You head to the kitchen, which isn't in much better shape than your bedroom. You pause to consider that the only reason it isn't quite as disastrous is because you spend so little time in here. You make occasional trips to peruse your scant supply of food or your copious supply of alcohol. Then, more often than not, it's right back to bed. The fridge is a total wasteland. It's hard to get out for grocery shopping. Sheltering in place has warped your lifestyle beyond recognition. It's much easier to order shit, money's been running low, and hitting Abby up for cash gets old. There's a pot of Kraft macaroni you think you made, what, 5 days ago? It looks like absolute shit, but it will have to do. You heat it up on the stove for a couple minutes and bring it to the kitchen table for consumption directly out of the pot. Hey, eating out of the pot is fine. And also, you don't even need this. Cold mac and cheese is also fine, don't cook it. It'll probably be worse because it's old. You make a mental note that this suppression meal life hack could make for some decent ironic TikTok content. Nah, needs some work. First you would heat up the week-old macaroni, then to save time you transport the pot outside and put the entire thing directly in a garbage can. Then to save even more time you curl up in a nearby bush and patiently wait to pass away. Yeah, that sounds better. Not today though, because you already shot your TikTok shot. I'm thinking about the idea. Barely even counts as a joke. Realistically, this meal belongs nowhere except a dumpster. The macaroni is practically inedible. You force a few mouthfuls just for the sake of preventing some of your internal organs from shutting down due to malnutrition, and put it aside. What next? Oh yeah, might as well get an early start. This bottle of whiskey is already open anyway. That's because it's the same bottle you opened yesterday. Now that breakfast is over, it's time for phase 2 of the day to kick into gear. Keeping yourself alive is hard work. Making such a healthy breakfast every morning is really taxing. And it takes a lot out of you. A couple spoons, as the emotionally brittle millennials like to call them. Right down the drain, just like that. When you're low on spoons, the only thing forward is to recharge with another session of mindless scrolling on your phone. Do you enjoy it? Hell no. But spoons don't grow on trees, and the invisible spoonometer, which probably floats over your head, seems to respond favorably to the practice. Scrolling, some drama brewing over here, some discourse ramping up over there. Fuck these people, absolutely fuck every single one of them and all their infantile shit they argue over. Dude, what now? Fucking cares, democracy is over, moving on. Jesus Christ, when did this game come out? Fair enough. Another serial rapist challenging him for the presidency. Be still your beating heart. Your attention turns to comments on your posts since you've been racking up. Even on old posts, there are always a few new replies to check out for a laugh. Do any of you disgusting sycophants even know who this bitch is? Do you know what she did? Who's this bitch talking shit in your mentions? Oh no. That was one of the nightmare people who helped cancel you a few years ago. You thought she got bored of you, but it looks like she's at it again. She's working hard to dredge up your problematic past to make sure anyone who didn't realize you did that stuff stays well informed. What a service she's doing for the public. You simply block the vile harpy and continue scrolling. People like her tend to be hit-and-run trolls. Sure, it's still somewhat triggering to see them rear their heads now and then, but it's pretty rare these days. The followers with the real staying power, of course, are the reply guys, the merry little band of lonely boys who flutter near your flame. A modest simp farm, as you come to regard it. God bless them. That's the American dream, right? To own a nice little farm. You can herd anything on your quaint plot of land, a humble patch of dirt the founding fathers died to bequeath you. They died for your right to harvest simps. Maybe they weren't half bad. Well, no, they were. You're just an enterprising woman making the best of a series of ill-intended imperialist blunders which took place several centuries ago. You guess that's all anyone's doing, really. These boys, though, they aren't genocidal frauds who stain the history books of your public education. They're mostly just a bunch of harmless randy fools. You're almost fond of them against your better judgment. You wonder how many members of this little flock happen to live here on the island. Probably nobody, since you have so few followers. You guess some of Abby's followers might live here, though. Actually, it's more than likely. Since Abby lives here too, she's probably got a few simps who are thrilled to be living on the same small island with such a sexy and popular influencer. Could the same basic principle apply to you on a smaller scale? Someone following you just because he happened to notice you're local? Not out of the question. You linger on the idea. 1,000 people who follow you, they like you, right? Ostensibly, this is why people follow each other. The hate which has chased you around has obscured this truth, but it seems likely this is how normal people operate. That's kind of incredible for you to dwell on. But these people actually like you? Feels like a miracle that anyone would. You're certain that this list overwhelmingly consists of cishet males? You wonder how many of them are attractive. Can't possibly be more than a precious handful. You try to imagine these things, these kings, these magnificent jewels in the rough. That they would bother following you, a complete loser and shithead with a bad attitude and even worse content. Well, they have the audacity to be good-looking and probably sensitive and misunderstood. You realize you're getting drunk enough to wonder if it's a good idea to reach out to your followers through a story post to see if anyone's nearby. Actually, that is not true. You don't wonder if it's a good idea, you're perfectly aware it isn't. What you mean is, you're getting drunk enough to know it's a bad idea, but do it anyway. Why waste another second of bullshitting yourself about it? You know you're gonna end up caving to yourself in the mental debate, so you cut to the chase and just do it. You prepare a cunning thirst trap and post it to your story. You check your DMs and within minutes you collect about a dozen messages, all from the usual simpy suspects, guys you were expecting a reply from no matter where they live. Really predictable shit going on here. Something about this dude's face and demeanor pisses you off for reasons you can't put your finger on. So you block him. Most of these replies are completely useless. Hang on. One guy here says he's from Brookline, Massachusetts. That's not far off, actually. There's something to work with here. Much depends on how invested this guy is. Maybe you can rope him into coming to your island soon. Ferry schedules vary throughout the year, but there's practically always one departing from Hyannis, which is probably about an hour's drive from Brookline. Maybe you can even make the trip today if his desperation level is high enough. But then it all depends on whether he's worth bothering with, doesn't it? It's quite a puzzle thinking about the factors in play. If he's hot enough, his desperation index could be very low. It might be like pulling teeth getting him down here, which would kill the impulsive allure of this dunship stunt. But if he's a ghoul, you could probably get him to swim here. But then if that's the case, why would you go to such lengths to debase yourself like this? Why indeed? It's an internally rhetorical question. Of course you would. Your thoughts turn again to your idol, dear sweet post, a complete swamp goblin of a man, and yet, if he were in your kitchen right now, no doubt you'd ravage the poor fellow. He would probably be afraid of you. It would be better if he were afraid of you. Your secret wish is that one day you hope to strike sexual intimidation into the heart of an American singer, songwriter, rapper, record producer, and actor known for his introspective songwriting and laconic vocal style. Not that you would ever make such controversial remarks out loud. Not again, anyway. Not if you hope to have a brand someday. Fuck it, you say. You only get to ruin your life once, or sometimes many times in rapid succession. But if that's the case, you'd like to think of it all as one long grand act of ruination. And if you're really committed to the daisy chaining a series of life-hobbling mistakes together, You might as well make it count. Brookline's not too far. Yeah, just a drive in the ferry. Yeah, I've never been there. Okay, don't really care. Oh my god, stop fucking typing, Percy. Clown god lol, but though we're writing a goddamn graduate thesis, like a complex, well-articulated response is gonna mean fucking shit to me. Okay, insane. Who do you think you are? I don't know, just the guy who likes your content? My content is fucking trash and you know it. Not really, you look good. Percy. Dumb name, sounds like the name of a cuck. I'm not really getting this. Do you really mean all these insults, or is this part of, is this what you're into? Jesus Christ, Percy, shut the fuck up. I still have no idea if this is a good idea if you're wasting my fucking time. Alright, I'm going to choose not to take any of this personally since you can't possibly know enough about me to form meaningfully negative opinions. Holy fucking shit, we go to a lady killer over here. Percy, I'm flying through the panties. They just keep getting soaked to your amorous repartee. Well, moron, can you just send me a pic already? Yeah, hang on. Selfie is corny as fuck. Fail, bad. Those ellipses you put before, sorry, are also corny. Don't get cute with me. Like, fuck, I'm not getting it. Do you think you're useful or whatever, or charming? Like, you don't matter. Your little idiosyncrasies and quirks of personality do not matter. Take off your fucking shirt. Well, you aren't going to upset me, I get it now. You just like talking shit. It's your thing, that's cool. Go ahead and tell me how bad I look, I can take it. No, cuck. I'm not fucking with you. You literally just made me laugh so hard I puked in my macaroni. Okay, that's not true, but good one. You did, that dumb fuck face, your simp ass fuckboy Casanova face, oh my god. Dipshit, you're so dumb. I loathed so much I barfed, also I drank too much. Well, you definitely do seem drunk, but I still don't believe you. I don't think you barfed. I think you're saying that for comical effect, to own me, if you will. You suck so bad, Percy. Percy, little shirtless baby boy from Brookline, Percy. Simply perk your nips out, mommy would be so proud of you and cute little nippies. Check this out, stupid. You probably just Googled that. Nope, look. Okay, you alright though? No man, this isn't happening. What is it? We aren't bonding over my fucking macaroni puke. Like, this isn't a moment we're having. We aren't becoming friends, and you aren't going to fuck me. Bye, Percy. You have fun this? That's quite a use of time. The shenanigan is complete, you suppose. It can be a rush to pull shit like this for reasons you couldn't really explain. But the rush is always short-lived. What soon fills the void it leaves behind is that unmistakable feeling of self-loathing and disgust. It's all a joke, isn't it? Your life, your brand. Come to think of it, you're not sure which of those two words is more deserving of derisive quotes. Maybe your quest to build a brand is childish. More vainglorious clout-seeking, contributing to the loud and labored rasp of Western civilization's last dinosaurial gasp. Maybe you should just delete all your accounts. It's not the first time you've had this thought, but it will be the last. The last thought you have before you pass out, that is. Hey, Starfire. Yeah, I'll take a sip. I can stand. Sit. Just sit. I've made a mistake. This fucking cup is empty. Be right back. Right, I've unemptied my cup, and by unemptied my cup, I mean I grabbed a different drink that comes in a can. It's a, high-protein iced coffee. So that's good. Yummy. Alright. so difficult to open fucking cans with hooves, I swear to God. Alright. It is delicious. Oh, I was supposed to shake that before drinking it. Gently. Oh well. I'll kind of swirl it around a little bit before I have more. That's just how it is. Bonk! Alright, something's actually happening. Oh no, do not touch the Jubilite Manifesto. Do not touch it! Yeah, what do you think of what you're seeing? What do you think of what you're seeing outside, from outside yourself? Uh-oh. That's not good. That's even worse. Well, you've been psychically released from your fucking body, only to encounter whatever the fuck this guy is, I guess? But they're just standing there. Nope, they lived. Touching or penning a manifesto usually doesn't end well. Yeah, I could think of some people. Some people I might say might enjoy this. Your work is unfinished. That was a hell of a dream. You haven't had one like that in years. Not since all that terrible stuff was happening in your life. Not since your dad was sick and you were deliriously hammering away at your manifesto. So it's not surprising the dream included both. You hate dreaming about him. Always with the body horror shit. And then at the end, the strange man floating in space, the ethereal muse himself? Could he really be back? Wait, what time is it? Oh god, it's dark. How long did you black out? Looks like Abby's already tried messaging you a couple times. Your head hurts and your mouth still tastes like cheese-flavored barf. Wow, you look like fucking shit. Thanks. Everything okay? I puked in a pot of macaroni and fell asleep for a few hours. Now it's dark. Really productive day all around. Oh yeah, I also have some vague recollection of tormenting a semi-local simp who slid into my DMs.
Well, Slid, I saw your thirst trap, fool. It seemed unusually desperate even by your standards. Made me worried.
So you started pelting my unconscious body with chat invites? It's cool you're my mom now. Oh yeah, I also...
Well, somebody has to be. The hack who physically birthed you were fucked off, right?
The fucking off was mutual.
When was the last time she talked to you?
Not since the incident. Works fine for me. You can be my mom. You're hotter and have much more clout anyway.
True, true.
As if I could spare a single precious second of my day for ugly bitches.
Well, where's ugly men? Whereas ugly men are obviously a different story.
Obviously.
Is Post Malone still your lock screen?
Yeah.
You get this shit all backwards. The nasty not safe for work art should be your lock screen and Post should be the unlock. So much more embarrassing than obscene if anybody catches you in public with Post on your phone.
So you've said. You're right, of course, but I don't give a shit. I love him. He's a sublime gargoyle, an exquisite heap of human garbage, the perfect affront to all my senses.
Your taste is so bad. You're completely unfathomable. It's like you need a 0 or a 10 and that's it. Anything between, you're contemptuously asexual.
Not inaccurate.
What about this simp you were toying with? How'd he look?
Average, a little below maybe. Real uncanny valley stuff. Totally standard reply boy fare. He might have been nice though, I don't remember.
Well, they're always nice. Doesn't mean shit.
I know.
You said he's local? You going anywhere with this or pulling the plug?
The latter, I'm sure.
Maybe you should modify your standards a bit and reel him in.
We're in fucking quarantine lockdown, Abby.
So, this thing's kinda overblown. We aren't supposed to, like, go to concerts and shit and get sneezed on by huge groups of people or whatever. I don't see much harm in hanging out with a few people on an individual basis from time to time.
And by this I assume you mean...
What do you mean? What do you think I haven't been keeping myself entertained? I still have people over all the time.
Pretty dumb shit, Abs.
What, you're surprised?
To hear you're still an atrocious slut? Not at all, but your parents are supposed to be the ones claimed by the boomer remover, not you. You can't just die off before you take all their money. Please don't do that to me.
I'll be fine, I'll get a little cough, that's it, big deal. Oh wait, maybe then I can infect them.
Oh, actually now you're using your fucking brain for once.
Seriously though, when's the last time you hooked up with anybody, Abby? I seem to remember you were very busy. What, last summer?
I guess that was the last time. I haven't really been in the mood since then.
You kept updating me of the revolving door of weird dudes you were picking up from the restaurant. I missed that. The stories were so good.
Yeah, it was a real circus in here for a while, but I don't need shit like that in my life at the moment.
Did your boss even know you were picking up her gross male customer?
As far as I know, she never found out. Doesn't matter, she's dead now anyway.
What, did you hear something or?
No, it's just the reality I've chosen to believe in. Pretty sure I'm quitting that job even if she reappears. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Good move. I highly recommend not having a job and never planning to have one in the future, ever.
You're rich.
I also highly recommend being rich.
Working on it.
Not hard enough, apparently. You got a straight shot to riches right here, bitch. Just marry into my fortune. Won't even make you sign a prenup.
That's super generous, but no thanks. I want to make my millions the honest way, by helping you rip off your parents.
Yeah, but all that does is give me their money. Where does that leave you without the marriage certificate, huh?
Oh, that's easy. You'll just give it to me because you want it.
I mean, yeah, probably. Z, I'll miss that restaurant if you never go wait tables there again.
I won't.
It's where we met, remember?
Yup.
Why didn't you pick me up that day, huh? Why'd you have to friendzone me so hard? Fucking brutal.
Because you're an ugly rich cunt and I probably thought you looked smelly that day.
Bullshit, you dragged every sewer creature you waited on back to your place. Well, and you have the audacity to call me a slut?
You are.
So are you!
I'm not really a slut per se, so much as a person with an especially punitive set of self-harming patterns.
Well, if you hate yourself so much, why not, self-harm a bit with me sometime?
Because I'm a filthy homophobe? This is a matter of public record, remember?
Well, no you're not.
Sure I am, I hate gays.
No you don't.
Well, you're gay and I hate you.
I'm not even gay!
You're gay enough.
Don't erase my bisexuality.
I'll erase whatever the fuck I want.
Wow, I like it.
If we ever actually slept together, I'd fucking annihilate your bisexuality. You'd become a permanent lesbian. Whoa, Z. This is getting out of hand. This will never happen, Abby. I'm deeply committed to being a problematically homophobic heterosexual piece of shit who sometimes enjoys the company of ambiguously reptilian men. Besides, you're my mom, remember? Can't exactly fuck my mom now, can I? I'm deep enough into cancellation purgatory as it is. This is an interesting perspective to be in.
I'd never do that to you as my daughter. You are my responsibility. Seeing as we clearly no longer care about quarantine, that I can help catch this disease ASAP and kill my parents. Why don't you come over tonight? I can cook something for you. Probably something better than macaroni bar.
I don't know.
Come on, my place is huge and expensive and extremely empty. Doesn't that sound better than wallowing your nasty little depression cave?
I guess.
Maybe we could snap some content by the beach tomorrow. You know how the simps always love the beach shit?
Yeah, but I don't think I'll be putting out content like that anymore. I'm thinking of revamping the whole brand. Yeah, I had this crazy fucking dream. It was so wild, I think my subconscious was trying to tell me something important. I don't know if it's a good idea, technically, but I think I'm obligated to do it now. The shit was too powerful to just write off.
Do what?
Remember my manifesto?
God, that thing?
Yeah, I know. It's all pretty out there, but I think there's something to work with there.
Well, if it gets you to come over here and helps you pull yourself together, I'm all for it. I support you no matter what.
What a pal. True test of friendship is if you can humor each other's manifestos.
Well, you humor mine, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm all fucking about, the truth of Jim Cook's secret romance.
Well, G-Cook, actually, but yes, thank you for your crucial support.
I will say your place is the fucking bomb. Do you think your parents will vacation there again this summer, or are they Rona spooked like everyone else?
You wouldn't be surprised if they hunkered down at the family compound all summer.
Good riddance if so. Still amazes me they're okay with you just squatting in their $10 million vacation home, like, permanently.
What the fuck are they even gonna do about it? I have the keys to have a grown woman who does as she pleases.
No arguing with that. But they must feel like they're getting a great return on that Harvard biz degree they bought you.
Yeah, fuck that, I'm doing some numbers, motherfucker. My brand is popping.
Something tells me they're unimpressed by your meteorically accumulated clout.
Yeah, they take a huge boomer shit all over it any chance that they get. I really wonder what they, wanted? What were they picturing? I'd leave school and slide into an Amazon VP spot or some shit?
They probably could have made something like that happen if you were so inclined.
I mean, maybe, but what the fuck do they think business is? I'm doing business here. People like my brand. This is how you make shit happen. Like, I can build on this to do whatever. Like, later. I didn't even need my fucking degree.
At least you finished it, which mainly served the purpose of staving off their massive disappointment in you. Instead, they're only mildly disappointment.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all that.
It's alright, I ended up saving them a lot of money by psychologically imploding halfway through MIT. MIT is actually super expensive if you weren't aware.
Oh, yeah, at one time my parents looked into buying it.
I meant tuition, you buffoon.
I know, God, Z, remember we promised to always know when we were joking.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's not like they have the kind of money your parents did to throw at that expensive education. They had to work hard for that, as they reminded me often. I'll be an eternal failure to them, which means they're failures too. Oh well, the problem half solved itself, so who really gives a fuck?
Huh?
I strongly recommend having at least one dead parent.
Oh.
It was ideal, but what can you do?
Aside from contemplating casual biological warfare?
Yeah, my mom would never succumb to the Rona though, not her style.
It's still so funny to me that you plan to get away from all that life drama was to come here of all places. All melodramatically like, fuck this life, I'm running away to an island. Which makes you think like a remote island in the Pacific or something?
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan. At one point I was looking at Guam, then I settled on Fiji, and that didn't really pan out.
Fiji sounds nice.
Yeah, Fiji's the fucking shit.
But then you just hopped on a ferry to the nearest island possible.
It was cheap, poor, remember?
Well, you think she still keeps up with you, like spies on your accounts?
I'm sure Mom has no idea they even exist. It was almost a moot point though. Before my insane dream, I was thinking about just deleting them all.
What?
I just get that way sometimes. Aside from my crazy ideas, which probably never see the light of day, I'm actually just so fucking boring.
Nah, you're so funny. You're such an untapped resource. It's a crime you've been going to waste. I know you've been going through some shit, but there are ways to rebound from that.
Yeah, but I still agonize stupidly and wonder if I should just question the source of this torment. The internet's fucking insane. It just sits there as a bedeviling temptation. This massive, ominously humming well of satanic potential just beckoning you constantly. And if you aren't using it in some way to make something of yourself or elevate your identity somehow, it makes you feel like you're wasting a huge opportunity or something. Or even wasting your life. It's like you were just saying, like, oh, I'm so funny and therefore it's a waste if I just fucking log off. But a waste of what? The system makes me feel like I'm wasting a resource by withholding from myself from the system. What if the system is what's wasting me?
Damn.
So maybe I should listen to the sane voices in my head instead of the insane one. Like, forget that weird dream, just delete all this shit and try to get my life together in a more normal way.
That's all totally fair. I hear you, but even if you wanted to go full normie, it's not like society's even functioning normally now anyway.
God damn it, yeah, you're right.
Not trying to invalidate you, you're just saying like, wait, hang on, before you decide on anything, I want to show you something.
Oh shit, you just followed me on Maine?
Yeah. You sure you're ready to take this kind of heat? I did it just after we talked. I felt like a fucking tool, but nobody's even noticed yet, lol. Maybe it'll never even come up.
Yeah, you're a paranoid bitch, but so am I, maybe. Probably been overthinking this.
Also, I decided something else. If you really do decide to relaunch your brand, even if it's a bunch of crazy shit, I'll give you some shout-out. I don't care if people think it's weird. That's what friends do. They support each other.
Well,
don't worry about figuring it out now, though. Just come over. I'm bored. I miss you, and you needed something real for a change.
well, alright, I'll head over.
Hey, but don't drive drunk. Get a lift or something, or I can just pick you up.
Don't worry, Mom, I'm fine. The nap sobered me up.
You promise?
Yeah, okay, heading out. You kill the video chat. It leaves a loud silence behind. Maybe it's the sound of the ominously humming well of satanic potential you just described to your friend. The sound you can hear all the time, but only now we're paying close attention to. Everything you said to her was true, of course. You believe it with every fiber of your being. The internet is evil. You've always known this. And the louder the silence gets, the more you begin to wonder if it's the only thing you've ever truly believed with any real passion. Aside from all this, of course. Alright, maybe you aren't as sober as you led Abby to believe. Still, you should be good to drive. You grab your manifesto. You'll need to spend a few days brushing up on the material if you're serious about this. Which you're still not sure if you are yet. Yeah, not my manifesto. But it won't hurt to bring it along and start reading. As you exit your apartment, you can't shake the feeling that everything is about to change. Maybe it's the fact you haven't been out in a long time, but leaving your depression nest tonight carries the uncanny feeling of stepping into the unknown. You're glad you took your manifesto, if only because leaving empty-handed would make you feel vulnerable. As it stands, you suppose this is the closest thing to a weapon you've ever had. Holy shit, it's Google Maps. Yesterday's decision to play Wobble Dogs was also last minute. And I'm probably not going to be playing a lot of Wobble Dogs on stream if I didn't say this already. Well, yesterday. Oh, did you just drunk crash into a fucking fire hydrant? Or a lamppost? Yeah, let's go! Oh, the police are here. You fucked up. Take your breathalyzer test, dummy. Hide your manifesto. Uh-oh. What? Maybe this is a dream. Uh-oh. You're out here lunging at cops and biting them. Are you gonna drive this fucking cop car to your friend's house? That's fucked. This was a terrible choice. Driving the car off a pier? Is that what's happening? Did you roll out of it? Did you roll down your window? Okay, we're making some choices tonight. We escalated pretty quickly here. That's what I thought. Yeah, you're in the shit now. Interlude 1. So you just killed the cop and dumped his car into the ocean. Nice going, genius! The cold hand of justice will close around your throat soon enough, whatever it is that justice even means these days. Maybe justice is what happens whenever people with power manage to punish whoever was trying to fight back a little for once. Maybe that's why you need a little more power over your own. Enough power to claim justice is what's happening when you're the one settling the score. Or maybe what you need is even simpler than that. Maybe what you need is the power of choice. So what will you do now, Jin? You're a fugitive now. And it seems there's only two choices available. You can turn yourself in, or you can run. Run like the wind and hide. Find Abby, dry yourself off, bury yourself in your work, and figure it all out later. Which will it be? Surrender, run away. I have these buttons. I don't actually know if they're clickable, but like... Surrender's just a fucking... We can save here. So let's do that and surrender. Little sorry, I should have mentioned. The ability to make meaningful choices in this story can only be locked by a true successor. Unfortunately, that's not you. Not quite yet, at least. Don't worry, though. I'll check in again later when you've made a little more headway with this mess you've got yourself into. Until then, do whatever comes naturally, I guess. I'm sure it'll all work out. Lamo! Francis. I hate that portmanteau already. But I do like saying portmanteau, so thanks for giving me an excuse. You stand, soaked and freezing, alone, at the steamboat wharf, at night. You just checked Uber, and no drivers are currently available, which you could have guessed might be the case at this hour during a pandemic. Maybe you didn't fully think this plan through. No, you shouldn't second guess what you did just because of some momentary sogginess. You review the facts. A nasty cop fired a bullet at an unarmed drunk girl who just crashed into a tree. The bullet missed, but traveled directly through her painstakingly written manifesto, which really might have, well, been like taking a bullet straight through the heart. What sort of author would you be if you didn't feel this way? So you did what had to be done. You checked the dead cop for a body camera, but he didn't appear to be wearing one. You're not sure if the sleepy NPD even uses those. Well, you thought they were sleepy at least. You guess all police forces in quiet summer colonies seem sleepy until the bullets start flying towards drunk girls armed to the teeth with manifestos. That squad car surely had a dashboard camera, so you had to do something. What were you going to do? Shoot the gas tank and blow up the car? That probably only works in movies. And the water's right there. You're completely surrounded by the stuff, actually. Now, the only evidence linking you to the scene is your wrecked car, registered your name, in the immediate vicinity of a dead cop without a squad car. Okay, that sounds pretty incriminating when you put it that way. We'll have to think about how to handle that. But more importantly, you really need to get out of here. You check Uber one more time. Now it says there's a ride available 6 minutes away. That's a relief. We'll give you some time to improvise an alibi. You dial 911 and think about what you're going to say before hitting the dial button. The dispatcher picks up and asks about your emergency. You try to sound calm because it's not a real emergency. Not when it comes to the role you're playing right now. You're still cozy and warm in your apartment. You just don't know where your car is. Hey, I don't know if this is a real emergency, I just didn't know where else to call. I'm pretty sure my car was stolen today. Dispatcher goes through the motions asking for your name and other relevant information. No reason to hold anything back. You want them to know who you are so they can rule you out when they find the body and the wreck. You then continue weaving your improvised story. Yeah, so I think it might have been an abusive ex-boyfriend. He's been snooping around lately. He has a spare set of keys. Fucker never gave them back to me. Dispatcher asks about him. Damn, you didn't think this far ahead. You continue spinning. Whose name? Sorry if I... Oh my god, are you gonna fucking implicate Percy? Which would be very funny. Well, that would be very funny as a thing to do in this story. Yeah, this alibi's not working out so hot. I can take photos to you to 911 or the police. How do I do that? Oh my god, you're sending this fucker? That probably was not the best idea. Maybe you should have just hung up after saying you were scared to give his name. But you just had to go further with the bullshit. Witness protection program, what the hell was that? Well, it's done. It's a small wrinkle in your alibi, but you think you've easily done enough to leave the police feeling confused about what happened tonight. Your Uber's here. Not a moment too soon. You're freezing and exhausted. Somehow, role-playing on the phone with a first responder has been more psychologically draining than exchanging gunfire with one. Well, here's your rich friend's house. Time to, you know, make them an accessory or whatever. Yup.
Get in here. There's plenty to eat I made. Dear, you okay? Why are you so wet? You look soaked.
Oh, I fell in a puddle on the way over. Well, you're right. I was too drunk to drive, so I just took an Uber. It's hard to find a ride at this time of night.
Oh yeah, I bet. So you fell in a puddle and got soaked head to toe?
It was a big fucking puddle.
Jesus. Why don't you go clean up? You can grab anything from my room to change into something dry.
Yeah, dry sounds good.
You'll be right here. I'll eat you up some dinner when you get back. Oh god, you poor thing. You're having a rough day, aren't you?
For real.
Don't worry. You made the right call coming over. I'll take care of you.
Thanks, Mom. Yeah, that's a bullet hole. You can't bring yourself to tell her yet. Tonight was too much. You just need an evening to unwind without making Abby freak out about your cop murder. You're sure you'll get around to telling her later, if you can think of the right way to break it to her. She's been too good of a friend to saddle her with the disastrous karma you can't seem to avoid stockpiling. Or perhaps you aren't stockpiling karma so much as dharma? Or maybe it's some chaotic juxtaposition of the two concepts. Maybe you've been key smashing your whole way through life and now is your soul reaping the auto-corrected consequences of this haphazard practice. Gotta ditch this. You stash it in one of the bottom drawers underneath some junk. She'll probably never look in here. You guess you could have tossed the gun too, sent it to a watery grave along with the squad car. But now you're technically a fugitive. You trust the future even less than you did at the start of the day. There's no guarantee you won't need this again later. You didn't ask for this shit. Yeah, you guess you shouldn't have been driving drunk. But why should that mean you're suddenly dodging bullets from one of NPD's finest? Whatever, Pig's dead. But you know the matter isn't done with, and by a long shot. It'll keep haunting you unless you start fighting back. This was the gift that departed officer gave you tonight. An albatross that'll hang around your neck for the rest of your life. But you suddenly decide not to see it that way. The true gift he gave you was resolve. You're so pissed about it, now you know you're on the right track. Your ambivalence about rebooting your brand is completely gone now. In its place is the same rage and disgust which led you to write your manifesto in the first place. Rage and disgust for injustice, for the systemic evils of this nation, for the weakness and compliance which quell the righteous outrage of its citizens, and now, several years after its completion, there's even more to be mad about. Persecution from the miserable wretches online who cancelled you, the ensuing mental breakdown which caused your life to spiral until you ended up on this island. And now on top of all that, an almost certain shitstorm brewing from law enforcement once they start piecing together what happened tonight. Well, they can do their worst. All the dirtbags out there can have at you soon enough, because you won't be hiding for much longer. Your brand is about to get a very serious facelift. And once you step into the spotlight again, from now on people are going to find it a lot harder to ignore what you have to say. You and Abby have a lot of work to do tomorrow. Psycolonials. Sure, this is a fucking game, I guess. I can't say I expected, to be slipping into the shoes of what I'm going to regard as a problematic cop killer, but who knows? Your name is Abby. It's pronounced exactly as it's spelled, so that's made life pretty easy for you. Another thing that's made life easy is the fact that your parents are rich. Rich doesn't really do it justice, though. Most people who vacation on the island for the summer are rich, relative to the average American citizen. Your parents are billionaires, and not the kind that barely qualify. 1 billion is 10 digits, but they didn't seem content to stop at 10, and society was more than happy to oblige. They own the house you live in, which represents a minuscule rounding error in the grand scheme of their total net worth. Easy to forget about most of the year, and they probably would if you didn't live here year-round. Growing up, you formed memories of this place strictly as a summer home, but after college, you decided to move in here permanently. Mostly because it keeps them out of your hair. It's not the most convenient place to visit, so they never bother until the summer rolls around. And this year it's looking more and more like the summer as you once understood it, and never will. It's roughly 9 a.m., and you have just woken up. Later than yesterday, but that's okay. You were up late last night tending to your beleaguered friend, and even popular influencers need to sleep in sometimes. Your bedroom is tidy, and you always notice if it isn't. You make sure to keep it that way to reflect well on your brand whenever this room is used as a backdrop for your content. Ordinarily, you'd reach for your smartphone first thing in the morning after an extensive routine of cooking breakfast, exercising, and feeding your beautiful horse. Horse. But right after all that, you go for your phone to check the action surrounding your exceedingly well-trafficked accounts. But for whatever reason, today feels a little different. Instead, you decide to take in the environment. As a thoughtful influencer, you really can't spend too much time tweaking the appearance of the lifestyle you sell to the adoring public. Nothing is left to chance. Your posters are carefully chosen and arranged to broadcast the preferred aesthetic to your crowd, and that aesthetic turns out to be a simple composite of your interests, which, judging from this wall, appears to be BTS, horses, so Abby clearly the best character in this game, and well, that's about it. Your mind is a train that chugs along precisely 2 narrow rails. You'd almost be embarrassed about the single-mindedness of your enjoyments, I yawned. But what can you say? You like what you like, and you make no excuses. Your fans are nothing if not supportive of these twin obsessions. You get a little closer to the hanging graphic depicting your favorite boys. It's hard to resist basking in their glow every now and then. BTS is an extremely popular K-pop group, and you are a vocal member of ARMY, which is what the fandom calls itself. You estimate you spend the majority of your waking hours contemplating these 7 extraordinarily beautiful boys. Your bio says you're bisexual, but you often like to joke in your posts that you like women as well as exactly 7 men, and that's it. You are also an avid Jikook truther, which is to say you strongly believe Jimin and Jungkook are secretly in love with each other. But you don't consider this a theory or even a particularly well-kept secret. The evidence is overwhelming, and those who refuse to concede to these stone-cold facts are blind and delusional charlatans. You've even written a manifesto on the subject, which, as you've told Z before, is something only crazy people do. But you are the true one exception to that rule, since when it comes to this subject, you aren't crazy at all. Your eyes are wide open. Your wide open eyes wander to another poster, featuring a number of majestic stallions. What else is there to say on the matter? You just plain fucking love horses. Enough said. Yeah, you think so. Horses kick ass. The end. And then I ended stream right here on that line. That would be fucking banger, but I will keep going. And stream on that line and never stream this game again. You meander toward your desk, mostly cosmetic and hair supplies live here, plus some other silly stuff to keep things fun whenever you stream content from this station. Little conversation pieces, things for your fans to notice and comment on. Nothing from any fandom you're particularly interested in per se, but you are mindful of the interests of your followers and you like to throw them little bones here and there. But when you're not streaming or doing yourself up for shoots, this here is the main reason you find yourself at this desk. You primarily use this laptop to write your fics. Lately, it's all RPF stories dedicated to exploring the alternate universe lives of your 7 favorite boys. Many of these fics get pretty racy. None of your fans have the slightest idea that this is one of your hobbies. You keep a pretty tight lid on the habit since it's frowned upon in the many fandom circles, to say the least. Okay, the truth is if you think you'd crucified if it got out, but you're not much like Z and don't throw caution to the wind as she has in the past. Your brand is a tight ship. Well, except when it comes to effusively sharing your sexual exploits with followers. In that sense, it's quite a loose ship. But when it comes to writing fiction, that's a whole different can of worms. The heads will understandably roll if the wrong types of online stories were to be associated with your name. Yep, we'll see. Maybe they have a pen name. Maybe they publish under a pseudonym. There's your horse. His name is David Hasselhoff. Your parents got him for you as a high school graduation present when he was just a wobbly-legged little colt. That makes him almost 10 years old now. When you graduated from Harvard, first thing you did was make plans to transfer David to the island where you could reunite with him and tend to him on your own in the summer home. He is by far your favorite family member, the very essence of quiet strength and loyalty. As for the silly name, it came with a horse. You had never even heard of David Hasselhoff before you got him. You assume it's a pop cultural reference that boomers would get worked up about, but the way you saw it, who were you to fault them their pop culture references? God knows you're prone to indulging in the references held dear by you and your peers, so you can't possibly begrudge your elders the same simple joy. Besides, you thought the name was cute. Your phone is buzzing. Who could this be? Oh, it's Z starting a video chat. Not out of the ordinary, but quite ridiculous in this context considering she slept in your house last night. What up?
Hey, you're awake.
Kinda.
Why don't you come downstairs? I'll make you something.
Check out this bitch who can't seem to stop feeding me. What did I even do to deserve this bed and breakfast shit? You do realize I suck, right?
You've been living a very unhealthy lifestyle. I just want to help you recuperate before you sink back into your den of despair.
I don't know if I'll be going back anytime soon. Parents' huge bed is super comfy. I must say, I enjoy rolling around on its extravagant expanse, getting my stank all over it. I feel like I'm marking my territory.
I'm glad you're amusing yourself in there.
I pissed in it actually to really get the job done.
Well, no you didn't.
Sure I did.
Please tell me you didn't actually pee in my parents' bed.
Well, no, not yet at least. I do have to pee kinda bad though.
My fucking god, will you get the fuck out of there? Come on, we're in the same house. This is dumb. Let's hang out. Tell me about your big plans.
Oh yeah, that shit. I almost forgot why I made this harrowing journey to your manor.
Yes, I know you risked life and limb to get here and fell in a huge puddle. I'm hanging up now. Come downstairs.
Whose dick do you have to suck to get a mimosa around here?
Mine?
Well, if I must, but if that's how it's gotta be, then your bed and breakfast is about to get a Yelp review for the ages.
Z, why don't you hold off on the booze for a while? It isn't even 10 a.m. yet. Here, I'll fix you some orange juice.
What? I thought this was brunch. That's how you do brunch, right?
Yesterday you were so drunk you were barfing in your macaroni and falling into puddles.
Oh, yeah.
Just slow down. My parents have a wine cellar which you can feel free to raid tonight.
Wow, nice. The Yelp review just got a lot better. Good enough to bury the tawdry dick-sucking lead, at least.
Well, so speaking of last night and falling into puddles...
What about it?
Well, you were completely soaked last night, but I noticed your manuscript was dry.
Yeah, so I lost my balance and I could tell I was heading right for that puddle. The huge puddle.
The huge puddle?
Yeah, and I didn't want my thing to get wet because, like, printing out another one would just be a fucking pain. So as I was falling, I used my quarterback arm and, like, launched it to safety. Then splash! Down I go.
I see. And why is there a hole in it?
Oh, that's a hell of a story.
It looks like a bullet hole.
Yeah, it is. I shot my own fucking manifesto.
Huh? You mean last night?
No. That was like years ago when I finished the thing. Remember my whole mental breakdown?
Oh, damn. I mean, yeah, you told me the story, but I guess not all of it.
They finished that thing coincided almost exactly when all that was going down. Like my dad died and I dropped out of school and then completely fell apart and said all that crazy shit online. I also finished my manifesto and I guess I, shot it due to going nuts.
Jesus.
Oh, you're the one who tells me only crazy people write manifestos. Is it really that surprising I'd pop a cap in my own magnum opus?
I guess not. I have to admit I feel kinda crazy maintaining my own manifesto, but I don't think I'd ever shoot it.
Yeah, it just means you can't be all that passionate about it.
Oh, excuse me? But that is bullshit. I mean every word of it with all my heart. You should read it.
Abs, I'm not reading your sordid K-pop manifesto.
Oh, why not? I'm trying to understand your stuff and help you with it.
Because you don't need to sell me on anything. If you say that your boys, Jim Cook, are fucking each other, then I believe you.
But there's so much to it.
Yeah, and I believe it. Just let those boys be in love, you know? Good for them. I don't need it proven through your painstaking academic rigor.
Okay, fair enough. Meanwhile, unlike you, I'm intellectually curious enough to delve into another woman's delirious manifesto.
Oh, you read it?
A few pages. That is what little I could glean around the gaping bullet hole.
Well, so what do you think?
It's unsurprisingly quite intense. I'd expect nothing less. It's also very,
What?
clown heavy?
Yeah, it's all about the clowns.
Wasn't this all just inspired by your Juggalo phase?
I don't know about that. There are a lot of inspirational forces that went into this. Mostly all this shit came to me in a series of increasingly psychotic dreams in the run-up to my mental breakdown.
That's pretty hardcore. Now you want to turn whatever this is into your new brand.
Yep, I'm fully committed to it now. I'm on a fucking mission.
Well, cool. I mean, I remember you talking about it before, but it was always in the vague context of some crazy thing you wrote. Not something you actually wanted to do something with. So if I'm gonna help you out, maybe you can explain it to me a little more.
Mostly it's just a bunch of revolutionary rhetoric about how America and capitalism sucks and should be destroyed.
Naturally.
But the socialist rhetoric is repackaged to be like super clowny.
Who doesn't love a nice clown?
Fucking nobody doesn't love a nice clown.
So that's it. Lots of radical left-wing philosophy, plus, like, everyone gets to be a clown.
Basically. But there's a lot more to it. There's also tons of lore.
Lore?
Yeah, that's what my feverish dreams provided mostly. It's so much shit. I talked about where these ideas came from. The Jubilites originated on the planet Whimsifay.
What, planets? So Jubilites are alien clowns?
Yeah, well, their civilization died millions of years ago, and their founder has been communicating to me through dreams. Not literally, I mean. I know they're just dreams, but that's what the lore says. Whimsify. That's how it's pronounced. But it's spelled Whimsifay. I'm not reading that as letters.
Whimsifay. Well, cool. I didn't know it was that deep. I guess this was a little creative writing project then, not just a crazy manifesto?
Oh no, it's still crazy as fuck! But yeah, it runs very deep. I think with my new brand, I'll just release the whole thing sequentially, like in little bits, a few pages at a time.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, obviously the first thing is it's gonna need a new clown sona. We're doing clown sonas now.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, clowns are fun as shit. That's the whole point of them. Well, that's how I envision rebooting my brand. I just start the fuck over. Then I come out with my clown sona, I'm like, hey, this is me now. I'm a fucking clown, and I do a bunch of photo shoots, and that's my starting content. Once I establish myself that way, then I start rolling out the serialized manifesto content. Yeah, I didn't know this would be very focused. Cop murder and clown focused. Like, start pitching that to people and see if I can drag more enthusiastic new clowns into my tent.
This sounds great. I can help you come up with clown sona. Maybe later I can make one too.
Oh, I'd expect nothing less. You'd make such a lovely Jubilite.
Wow, flattery will get you everywhere.
It better, bitch!
Well, how about after breakfast we head up to my vanity mirror? We can give you a whole glow up.
A clown up?
Hell yeah.
Let's see them look like fucking clowns. Get this clown on. Post clown. Post Malone, post clown. This needs to be bigger than my old Juggalo clown sona.
What did that look like? Do you have any photos?
Probably, but it just looked like some edgy teen piss. You don't need to see that shit. It'll contaminate our results.
Didn't you also cosplay a long time ago? You should be an old hand at this. Maybe you don't even need my help.
Yeah, I did when I was a kid, but you don't have nearly the amount of gray makeup it would take to duplicate those results.
Huh?
Never mind, we won't be speaking of that. I just want to make some cool clown shit happen here. I think I want to do something with Z's.
These?
Thank you for that. Yeah, thanks for that, yeah. You like my name?
Oh yeah. Let me try something.
Oh, actually, that's fucking sick.
You like it?
Yes, I do. Abs, for a ridiculous bimbo, you could be a genius sometimes. Let me back up.
I mean, I did graduate from Harvard, you know.
Yeah, by fucking all the professors, right?
Well, yes, but isn't that what a genius would do?
Yeah, I rest my case. Here, let me mess with his look some more. Oh, look at you.
Oh, look at you. This is so cute.
It's not supposed to be cute, though. It's supposed to be badass.
Well, it's that too, but mostly it's cute, because I know who's underneath.
Oh my god.
What?
I don't know, maybe my clown is working too well. You're already hitting on me.
Well, but I always do that.
I know, but now I've added clown pheromones to the equation. Could be dangerous.
Perhaps. So is that it? You think you're done?
With the face, yeah. Obviously, I need new ensembles. None of your current clothes are going to cut it because you're an absurd giant. And I don't want to go back to my place anytime soon because, well, I just don't.
We can always go shopping this week. More places are open for business than you'd think.
Yeah.
What about a name?
What?
Doesn't your clown soda need a clowny name?
No, I think I'll just keep my name. It's already a name I gave myself to replace my parent-given name. I'll rebrand and all, but I'll keep the name hopping like a fool.
I guess that makes sense.
Some old haters will link my new brand with my controversial past, but I don't even really care at this point. They can take their best shot, but I'm not running anymore.
Am I allowed to make up a clowny name when I make my clown soda?
Of course, that's strongly encouraged for all those who choose to clown up.
Oh, I know what I'll go with. My old screen name when I was a kid. Apple Pie.
Oh, I see. Now who's the one being fucking cute?
I guess it was me when I was 10 years old and playing Neopets. But also it's still you in your cute clown makeup.
You're right. It's a shame to waste all this clowny cuteness on my gay mother who would think I was cute even if I took a shit right on her bedroom floor.
Wow.
So why don't we take the new brand for a spin and see what the people think?
But you don't have your new fits yet.
Whatever, I'll just take a headshot selfie. You in on this?
Well, okay.
You clear out your Instagram account, deleting the photos from your stale brand, and post the inaugural selfie showing off your new clown Sona. Abby cross-posts the same photo to her account and tags you in it. No going back now, the new brand is officially launched. The day slips by as you monitor the comments and feedback on your humble starter post. The reception to your clown Sona is almost universally positive. You can't tell if it's real praise or if Abby's followers are just being polite to her friend who's an obvious charity case and just got a nice pity shout out. Doesn't matter though, because at the end of the day, clout is clout, and you have to start somewhere. You already have over 10,000 new followers, which seems like an absurdly high number to you. But when you consider you're just siphoning off some of Abby's following of 3 million, it's just a tiny drop in the bucket. Still, it's a strong start for only having posted a single clown selfie, and now it's up to your showmanship to build on it.
Still clowned up, huh?
Yeah, I'm living in the paint for a while, trying to get into character.
Is it character? I thought your clown Sona was just you.
Well, it is. The Jubilite Manifesto says your clown soda is an expression of your truest self, like a final form.
That's like some anime shit.
Yeah, it's totally some anime shit.
Well, it sure seems like people are enjoying your clown Sona.
I think they're just being polite for now. It's a bit patronizing. Your followers just like whatever you do, so of course they're going to be nice to your weird clown friend. We'll see how they really feel once I start rolling out my actual content.
I'm really curious to see where it goes. I'll just keep giving you shoutouts until we can get your brand to take flight. I can't believe what a chicken shit I was being about following you. This could be so fun. The losers who'd have a problem with me supporting you aren't even worth my consideration anyway.
Yeah, basically, and besides, nobody's even said anything yet. Maybe because nobody has connected me with a previously problematic identity yet?
I suppose that is one advantage of clowning up. You keep the old haters guessing.
The haters will probably catch on soon enough, and then we'll see what the actual consequences will have. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I hope they show themselves. Makes it easier for me to keep an eye on them. I don't think I would look good in clown makeup. But sure.
Yeah, whatever. Life is too short to worry about how the opinions of shitty people reflect on your reputation. We're just having some fun. Speaking of which, looks like you found the wine cellar.
Oh, yeah. Highly recommend the, 2016 Domaine Georges Romeo Musigny. Excellent vintage. Musigny?
Well, if you say so, I don't actually know anything about wine.
Neither do I just looked around the cellar and checked prices online. This was the most expensive shit I could find. It goes for about $17,000 a bottle.
Really?
The internet says so, yeah.
I had no idea my parents had such pricey stuff down there. I guess I shouldn't be surprised.
Don't, they also have a bunch of fucking Bentleys in the garage.
There's one Bentley and a few other cars, but yeah, they spend money on a lot of stupid things. Maybe we should have saved for this super expensive wine for a special occasion, though.
Bitch, this is the special occasion. Just a couple of friends hanging out for the first time in forever, clowning up and making plans to cause problems on purpose.
Huh, you're right. If this doesn't count as a $17,000 night, then I don't know what does. Cheers.
Let this mark the beginning of a long and fruitful endeavor to exploit the living shit out of your parents and their obscene hoard of ill-gotten wealth.
I'll certainly drink to that. What else did you have in mind?
Give me some time to build the brand first, then I'll let you know what's up. It's all related, you'll see.
The suspense is killing me. I hope you're prepared to bring this level of showmanship to your new brand and not waste it all on me.
You don't need to worry about that. You just keep supplying me with fresh new simps and I'll play the role of ringmaster. Is that an avocado? No.
Who's calling?
Oh, nobody. Just some fucking spam. 1 week later, the cops called and you did not answer. Fair enough. After 7 days and nights of being supplied with a steady diet of fresh new simps due to Abby's enthusiastic hype, combined with your newfound flair for social media ringmastering, your Instagram following has ballooned to a figure you can barely comprehend. Just over 500,000 new subscribers. This total was unfathomable to you at one point, but you have to keep reminding yourself that this is a modest fraction of Abby's total fandom. They count as your fans too now, only by the promotion she's generously provided. The true test comes when you begin to flex your vision in front of a sizable starting crowd. You begin releasing the introductory portions of your manifesto, which have been met with a largely positive reception, if somewhat confused as well. While your new fans appear to be humoring your dogmatic content, they mainly seem to be here for the novelty of your clowny e-girl stuff. You're rolling in more simps than you know what to do with now. An almost limitless reservoir of thirsty boys would appear to be at your disposal for just about anything. Of course, they're mostly all the same eager simps who've been hounding after Abby for years, who seem more than willing to migrate to a greener, clownier pasture. And of course, as expected, a few old aunties have become to surface as well. They brought receipts. You knew they would. You simply delete some of the comments containing links to your previously problematic behavior, block, and move on. Their negativity is overwhelmingly drowned out by other more positive comments regardless. This is a relief to see, and it helps you rise above the hate. But you don't rise above it. Before you take note of every single hater and auntie who smears you in your comments and sections and elsewhere, you make sure to maintain a thorough list of every nasty piece of shit before you block, move on, and benevolently rise above the noise. They're nothing to you now except motivation. Motivation to prove them wrong, and make them deeply sorry it ever even occurred to them to post unkind words about such a cute creative clown girl with a sensational new brand. Your sharp rise on the coattails of your famous friend has all been good fun to monitor. The fact is, you've barely even begun revealing the good shit. And before you share that stuff with your new fandom, you'll need to make sure Abby is up to speed on the next phase of the campaign. Abby, we need to talk about Pranksis.
Well, what?
Pranksis, the first critical piece of Jubilate doctrine. We'll be unveiling soon, but you need to know about it first. And much more importantly, you need to practice it.
I do? Why?
Because pretty soon this movement is going to need money. I mean an absolute fuck ton of money. As generous as you've been with your credit cards helping me buy new clothes and shit, that level of financing isn't really going to cut it.
One of my credit cards is $1 million limit.
Wow, a whole $1 million! That's cute!
Cute! See, you drive a fucking Kia!
And yet, I am with one. And yet I am with one with an exceptionally refined palate for expensive wine. And I also know $1 million is a bullshit chicken feed number. You need to start thinking bigger.
Maybe you should try to relax. Your account is off to such a good start. Between the two of our accounts, we could pull together some really good revenue streams. You start stressing about how it's all chicken feed money or whatever, you won't have any fun. Wasn't that the point of all this? To have fun?
Abby, you still don't understand. Pranksis is the very essence of having fun. And the more money you make, the more it multiplies the fun you're having.
Okay, I'm sure that's true and all, but that's one of the points I've always been trying to make with my parents. I've already been doing some serious numbers. I know I half-assed my business degree, but I've actually been able to translate my following into a pretty profitable situation while having a good time doing it. So my parents can both go eat shit about my bad career choices.
Yeah, on the topic of your parents, that's what this is about.
I thought this was supposed to be about Pranksis.
It's also about Pranksis.
Well, what the fuck is Pranksis?
Pranksis is fucking everything. It's a mission-critical plank in the Jubilate platform. A central pillar, actually. It's what most of my manifesto's sanctioned clownery revolves around. It also happens to be the key to how I start bankrolling the fuck out of this jam.
Alright, genius, so what is it?
Well, you know what a prank is?
Yeah?
Do you know what praxis is?
No.
Lol, okay, forget all that then. It doesn't actually matter for the time being. Pranks is... Let's talk about your parents. If you help me out with this, then that'll be your first real life lesson in prankses. When's the last time you talked to them?
Oh, a couple days ago, actually. They really call. They do keep an eye on my account. And I guess they noticed I've been doing something different lately? They sure do hate your crazy socialist diatribes! But I also have them believing this is all just an act to own the libs or whatever. Like, good for ratings and all, but down the road we're just gonna fuck with people about it, turn it into a racket or something. It's just easier to deal with them if I tell them things like that. They think it's a good idea in theory, but wow, you sure do rile them up.
Yeah, this one... Yep, that is the person I was thinking of. This is all incredibly good, actually. Abby, you didn't even know it, but you're quite naturally gifted with the art of pranksis already.
I am?
Yeah, this is a perfect table setting, prepping the marks and all. So I don't even think I have much explaining to do here. I just need you to call them again soon. I've already typed a bunch of notes for you to hit in your conversation.
Okay.
By now you've become considerably more familiar with the finances of Abby's family. Over the past week you've pieced together a more complete picture through questioning Abby and a few other methods of research. Their political activity was some of the easiest stuff to find. Over the last 4 years, they've been steadily making huge donations to the Trump campaign. But more recently, it looks like they've switched to becoming heavy Biden donors. You're sure it's not for any ideological reasons, but likely due to the entire Trump charade looking more like a sinking ship all the time, especially in light of the pandemic response and its economic fallout. You can tell this move must have been a bitter pill for her dad to swallow. And while he is kind of a dumbass, he's not so stupid as to let perfectly hollow, easily corruptible president waltz into office without taking a whole bunch of his money first. The truth is, in the man's heart of hearts, you doubt he really gives a shit which senile rapist goes to run the show, as long as he gets to take photos with them at $50,000 per plate fundraising dinners. If you take a closer look at the companies which they own a lot of shares in, it's become pretty obvious the economic disruption has hit them pretty hard. Wild swings in their total net worth. Wild swings to the tune of billions. Their money people must have been moving the assets around like crazy to protect what's left. It's hard to pin down their total net worth given the complexity of the holdings, but your recent estimates have it somewhere between $20 and $30 billion. But probably not for long depending on the economy, of course, as well as what you and Abby can manage to put into motion through your revolutionary new philosophy known as pranksis.
So I just had a pretty long talk with them. They were really surprised I called, but happy to hear from me. I never call out of the blue like that.
That's good, what happened?
I just went through everything you listed for me. But naturally, which meant I had to talk for a long time, just bullshitting away with small talk, so it didn't seem suspicious.
That's great. See? Told you. Barely need any coaching at all.
Well, now, come on, Z. Why are you so surprised I'm good at working with my parents? I've been bamboozling these people my whole life.
I bet. Go on.
Finally got around to bringing up the Bitcoin stuff again. Actually, it was really smooth because I already bought it up. What, like a year ago? Remember that?
Yeah, because I told you to.
I know. Have you really been planning this for that long? At the time, I thought you were just having me do it as a goof.
It was a goof, but also serves the double purpose of laying the groundwork in case we ever wanted to finally make all this stuff happen. That's how you have to do things. Think long term and just make the most of future opportunities as they present themselves. Or create those opportunities like we're doing now.
Yeah, so I started babbling about Bitcoin shit again, per your notes. But I still feel like I don't know what I'm talking about when I get into it.
I know you don't. It's good, you sound a little confused about it, because you are. You're not supposed to be an expert. This is just stuff you've been reading up on a little, and all you're doing is prying it in.
Right, so are you really gonna hack all my parents' money? Like, that wasn't just more of your outrageous bullshit all this time?
Abby, this is what hacking is. It's like 90% social engineering. You need to be patient, plant all these seeds along the way, set up points of psychological leverage, and when the time is right, you have like a little bit of low-end programming ready to go. This is all a lot easier than it sounds.
It is?
Yeah, I've been doing a bunch of stuff already.
Well, I bet you have.
Over the last week, I've been micro-targeting your parents on Facebook with ads for Bitcoin shit.
Oh my god.
For the service I want them to be using, of course, it's a real service, deals in high-volume crypto transactions. The point is to get them to do real shit first, then get tricky with it a little later.
Okay.
I've also been emailing them shit that looks legit enough, kind of bombarding them with info, offhand testimony from trusted people, other rich fucks spooked about the economy, and now you're one of the human levers too. When the time comes, you're the one who pushes them to make the final move.
We're the trusted people.
I mean, they're fake, it's all just me. I started a few fake chain emails, you know, the ones boomers love to reply to and forward around. It's like catnip, they can't fucking help themselves. Put a ton of crap email addresses in the recipient field, including a bunch from people I know they're acquaintances with. Nobody too close, but names of other rich people they'd recognize and listen to if they saw them babbling about crypto as a way to protect their billions in a dumb email chain.
Wow.
I actually did this on a whim, being skeptical of the returns, but it's been working phenomenally. I got your mom to reply to one of these chains a few times credulously. I worked her a little bit with one of those sock puppets some other rich dude she's met. It's so easy to get these names. The Republican donor lists are kind of a goldmine.
Wait, you've been talking to my mom?
Sure, why not? This isn't even the good part. After I got her interested enough in the subject, I had this dude kind of pull her aside. I deleted all the names from the chain, just worked her one-on-one. Got pretty flirty. Turns out your mom's a real saucy bitch.
What?
Bottom line is she's sort of having an affair now. Sorry, Abs, your mom's getting a lot more side action from me than you could ever manage.
Oh my god!
Please don't be jealous. It's just some undercover spy work, like some James Bond shit. This breathtakingly horny Karen means nothing to me, I promise.
I'm losing my mind!
Well, if I knew you'd be this hot and bothered by it, I would have just blind copied you on all the emails. I mean, I still could.
Z, I don't even, you're unbelievable! How do you even come up with shit like this?
Clear your jets, Abby. I already said what's going on. It's just a bit of playful pranksis, that's all. Not even that far along in the process, really. It's only phase 1.
Phase 1?
Yeah, I'm just setting them up. At the right moment, you, a trusted and beloved daughter who is famous and influential, will knock them down.
Okay, I believe you, but how do I do that?
Fine, I'll just walk you through the play. The thing to do now is wait for the right opportunity. Everybody's already spooked about the economy, so we pick our spot. And when we do, we exploit their fears over more huge stock market losses to swoop in with the Bitcoin shit. And I work my angles too, like your mom. My email chain Romeo says he just shifted most of his assets to crypto to ride this out, whereas you're coming at it like an heiress. Just say you're trying to do your part to protect the family fortune. You just push the same exchange site I've been pushing with my micro-targeting.
So I get them to buy tons of bitcoins and then you hack the coins?
Lol, no, there's no hacking involved, just stealing. The exchange service really exists. It's a real way to buy coins and you put them all in a wallet. Their financial people will agree this is a sound way to do it. It's solid and vetted. I don't expect them to do anything their money guys wouldn't sign off on. We just step into the middle of the process. The part where your dad stores the shit in the digital wallet. I designed a spoof wallet site that looks and functions exactly like the one on the real site he's buying from. Similar URL. Even asks for a password for it.
You have his password?
Lol, no? Don't you see it? These are all mind games. You enter any shit in the login field and it works fine. But he'll enter his real name and password, at which point the game's over. Once I have that, I could do almost anything. But it doesn't even need to stop there. He could even just go right ahead, feeling confident it's a secure site because it's just accepted his password. And then he stores the coin data directly into my fake-ass wallet. At which point, he has just fucking handed the coins right over to me. It's basically phishing shit. Usually people are more on guard for things like this, but not if trusted family members are sending them links being all like, cool, you're almost there, Dad, now open the wallet, here's a link to that.
Yeah, I see.
And once the coins are ours, that's it, their money's gone. I resell them, move the money around a bit, stash it in offshore accounts. My guess is if we pull it off, it would be a long time before we even realize it was gone. And if that happens, I don't know, just blame hackers or whatever.
Well, hackers did take it.
Exactly.
So how much are we, going for here? Like, all their money?
Probably not. There's no way anyone's pushing through a $20 or $30 billion Bitcoin transaction. Their money people would shit bricks if it was proposed. But you hype them up for as much as possible. Whatever their guys can agree to is sound diversification policy.
Okay. Z, what are you going to do with all this money?
I have some ideas.
Oh boy. I can't wait to find out what they are.
I think it's the fucking cops! Yup. Let's save here. The police. End of chapter 2, I guess? So chapter 1, we introduce our main character and then introduce them royally fucking up. Chapter 2, we introduce our... Well, not introduce, but we flesh out our second character. And, you know, they don't... We go into a lot of detail about this prankster shit. Wild card. Yeah, how are you getting out of this one?
Why are the police here?
Oh god, Abby, you can't tell them I'm here.
What? Why?
Because they're looking for me. That is definitely why they're here. They finally started snooping around my social media and they connected me with you and... God damn it, I should have known this would happen.
See, what did you actually do? Does this have to do with the Bitcoin stuff?
No, not at all. It's worse. I just have to hide. I'm going out back to the horse barn. Please just get rid of them, Abby. I'll explain everything later.
The horse barn? Just stay in my room. Please don't do anything stupid. I can handle this.
No, I can't be in here. What if they have a warrant? I need to hide. Tell them it's unconstitutional to search a woman's horse barn.
First of all, it's a stable, not a barn. Also, I don't think that's even true.
Sure it is. Just keep mentioning the Constitution. The Constitution protects your rights as a horse owner. Just say that until they fucking go away.
I'm not talking about the Constitution with a fucking cop. If they don't have a warrant, I'll just make them go away. I'll say I haven't seen you in a while. Then can you tell me what's actually going on?
Yeah, sure. Just get rid of these fucking cops. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work either, Flan. I think this is a nonsense plan that doesn't take into account social media. Flee. You know, go hang out with the horse. They need the company. Oh, deep sadness face. You keep an eye out to make sure the police go away. Sure enough, they drive off after what seems like an eternity. Looks like Abby got the job done. She mad. Uh-oh.
Okay, the cops are gone. I think you have some explaining to do.
I can explain.
Yeah, maybe you could start with your car and why they found it near a dead cop.
I was gonna tell you about what happened that night. I couldn't bring myself to. We were having a good time. I didn't want to ruin everything by talking about dead cops, and all the shit I went through that night was traumatic.
Okay, it sounds like you went through something terrible. So let's just slow it down. I'm not mad you didn't tell me, I promise. But please just tell me everything, because obviously I'm involved now. I need to know everything so we can figure what to do.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, bottom line is I shot a cop.
What?
You said you'd be cool!
Okay, I will be, but holy shit, when? Was this the night you came over soaking wet?
Yeah.
Oh god, that fucking bullet hole?
That was a cop bullet.
God damn it, I knew this was all fishy. Why are you just lying your ass off about all this? Spinning all your crazy stories about how you shot your own manifesto like it was some manic creative episode? When you were just covering up a cop killing?
Please don't be mad at me. You said you wouldn't be mad.
I'm not mad, I'm just losing it. It would all be kind of funny if it wasn't so serious. So if I'm understanding right, you actually tried to drive to my house that night even though you were drunk and I told you not to do that. You crashed somewhere and a cop came by and then he shot at you?
Yeah.
Why?
I was trying to grab my manifesto and I think he thought I was reaching for a gun. So I started mouthing off at him and he fired. So I jumped at him and I guess kind of wrestled him for a bit.
Jesus Christ!
Anyway, I got his gun from him and shot him a bunch of times. They just started blasting. I don't regret it because he was a piece of shit and deserved it.
Yeah, so I'm still not really... Then you got a ride to my place.
No, the cop's dash cam probably recorded me, so I took the police car and drove it into the ocean.
Oh my fucking god, the puddle! You sneaky bitch!
Oh, but yeah, I got an Uber from the wharf after that. Then I kept meaning to tell you, but I could never bring myself to. I just wanted to forget about it, really.
I guess I can't blame you. It sounds horrifying.
Well, it was, for the pig bastard I shot.
Damn, I really need some time to process all this. Wait, the cop showed me a picture of some guy. They asked me if I've seen him before.
Oh shit, that was probably Percy.
Percy?
The simp I was fucking with before I went out that night?
Why do they have that guy's picture?
Because I gave it to them.
Z!
I know, it was stupid. I called 911 to report my car stolen to set up an alibi, sort of. They kept asking fucking questions, so I panicked and said it was my ex-boyfriend. I shouldn't have, though. It was the one mistake I made in an otherwise flawless cover-up.
Well, flawless, sure. You should probably tell him he's been implicated in a crime.
I've been thinking about it, but if I couldn't bring myself to tell you, imagine how I feel about dealing with him. Also, whatever I say to him, I might just be incriminating myself. I need to think about it more.
You also, couldn't have picked the worst possible time to be a fugitive? You just launched a whole social media brand and have a ton of new followers. In fact, that's almost certainly how they connected you with me.
I know it is. That's why I came to your house. I'm sorry.
See, you really are such a spectacular fucking disaster.
I know, God, I'm a complete fuck-up. I'm scared about all this. I don't know what to do except, keep fighting? I think that's why I've been pushing so hard with all this brand shit. Yeah, the blind panic is always great.
Why, to fight?
Yeah, I don't want to cower. Not from the people who hate me, not from my past, not from the fucking police.
I guess this is the only way...
Oh, sorry, same thing. This is the only way I know how.
That sort of makes sense. Pretty risky, though. It's not like any of this was really your fault. You were just defending yourself.
Yeah, but they won't see it that way if they catch me.
Of course not. But don't worry, I won't let them catch you. Just stay in my house until we can get this to blow over somehow. But from now on, we shouldn't stream or make content together. And don't make it obvious you're posting content out of my house. We can't give the cops any reason to think you're hiding here.
Yeah, you actually think I should keep working on my brand?
Of course I do. You're doing great so far. The Jubilite stuff is so crazy and weird. A lot of my fans are really clicking with it. Plus, we're only getting warmed up with our pranksis efforts.
Well, yeah, it would be a shame to pull a plug on that now. Your parents are on the ropes. When all is said and done, what difference is a little more crime gonna make?
In for a penny.
In for $1 billion.
Only $1 billion? That's a chicken feed number.
Okay, I've been training you too well.
I just don't want to see you give up. It would suck so much to let this shitty incident defeat you when you were the one who was attacked. Just keep following your vision. I'll do everything I can to protect you.
Alright, I'll keep fighting then.
Good. What's next on the Jubilite agenda?
I was gonna post the next chapter soon. This is where the dogma starts getting dicey.
Dicier than pranksis?
Well, not legally dicey, I mean socially. It's entering the arena of weird gender shit. Kinda skirting the edges of whatever I was ranting about when I got myself fucking cancelled during my nuclear meltdown.
Oh no.
It should be fine though. I think this is actually all good shit. And fuck the haters anyway. I think the brand is beyond cancellation at this point. They can try their worst, but it all just goes into the discourse machine now. I use it to my advantage to keep business booming.
That's what I like to hear. I'm excited to see it. When does it drop?
I still need to walk everybody through pranksis. It's a whole fucking thing, as you know.
Certainly is.
But maybe in a week they'll be ready for the real truth bombs.
Ah, great. I'm happy to hear you have a plan. Really rattled by the police stuff, but I think if we work together, we can get this under control.
Yeah.
Let's try to forget all about this today. It's really upsetting hearing about what happened to you.
It's fine. I'm benefiting from the healing vibes of Dave. Oof. Dave Hoof. The true MVP of this outfit.
Yes, he sure is.
Yeah, he's the fucking glue that's holding this story together. This shit's actually kind of tough on my throat, doing a lot of reading. Another week slips by like it's nothing. Passage of time is helpless against the momentum of your brand. The march toward 1 million followers is as inexorable as it is captivating. Even Abby, with her vast following, is taken aback by your rapid rise. You may have captured lightning in a bottle, which is hard to explain. Could it be the intrinsic allure of clowns? The socialist demagoguery? Your unique flavor of showmanship? Or your ability to manipulate discourse and controversy to your benefit? Is it still just a matter of riding Abby's multi-million follower coattails? Or maybe it's just plain pandemic-driven boredom juicing the numbers? No one seems to have the answer, but it's hard to argue with the results. Few have taken to the Jubilite lifestyle with more gusto than Abby herself. In the previous week, she's unveiled her new clown Sona to uproarious acclaim. Apple pie is a hit. Yeah. The Tumblr posts, they're called funnies. There's no furries, but there are people who make clown sonas and they're called funnies. Anyway, your clown sona posts are getting higher levels of engagement than even she's used to. Something peculiar is going on which wasn't supposed to happen. Her following is spiking right along with yours. She began at around 3 million and is now sitting at 3.5. There's unanticipated synergy between your two brands, which lends something to the claim that you aren't just coasting off her clout anymore. She's starting to get a boost from yours as well. Now that she's figured out radical clown energy is nearly as good for business as fashionably standing certain K-pop groups, she continues hyping your brand with all the more enthusiasm. Your public lessons on prankses? You got fucking... Don't tell anybody that, boy, Jesus Christ. Stories of the fandom's implementation of these ideas have begun to circulate, which is becoming a form of content unto itself. Abby's been doing a masterful job of convincing her parents it's all just part of their ploy to own the gullible libs, drive clicks, and take their money. Anyone eavesdropping on her calls with their parents now would be hard-pressed to tell her apart from a staunch Republican. She gives all credit to her mom and dad for training her too well on how to sound like them. But tonight you prepare for something completely different. It has nothing to do with financially subverting the wealthy in a playful manner. You're now delving into the part of the manifesto which engages with the delicate politics of various social constructs. The delivery requires a deft touch, so you take some time to revisit the material before going live with it. Everything is further complicated by the fact you need to keep a low profile. You set up a streaming studio in the other wing of Abby's house, never doing anything to indicate the two of you are in the same building. You don't even use her Wi-Fi in case they get clever and subpoena Instagram for tracing purposes or whatever it is they can do. You only stream through your phone's wireless data plan, which is what you're preparing to do right now as it happens.
You almost ready to stream?
Almost, just brushing up on this first. Also, I need to release the chapter itself, which I'll do in a minute.
I've gotten so antsy to see how everyone react to new stuff.
Yeah, you've turned into a real discourse dumpster diver.
Well, it's a lot more interesting than the discourse my brand usually gets.
Your discourse just revolved around like the fact that you're hot and how good or bad your opinions were on K-pop. I think the occasional horse girl fight would erupt.
Yeah.
I notice you've been dolled up in your clown Sona paint a lot more lately too, even in your posts.
I love my clown Sona!
Not that I'm complaining, but it seems like my brand has completely hijacked yours at this point. The Jubilite cultural hegemony is truly a force to be reckoned with.
Sure seems that way. All I know is I'm just having a lot more fun with putting your thing in the spotlight than what I was doing before. I think my whole influencer routine was getting a little stale, to be honest.
Nothing like a ton of outrageous clown propaganda to liven things up. I'm proud to have fully indoctrinated you. No matter what happens from now on, I'll consider you my greatest conquest.
Wow.
Okay, I just posted the new shit. Let's wait a little while for that to make the rounds and then I'll start streaming.
You wanna, like, rehearse your message or anything?
I usually just wing it the moment I start streaming. It feels more real that way.
Maybe we can talk about it anyway, so it's fresh in your mind.
Sure, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I read the chapter, and I'm mainly wondering, how serious are you about this?
About what?
Clown gender.
Abby, I am dead fucking serious about clown gender.
I can totally believe that. I mean, I personally think it's interesting and all, but I think a lot of people will probably think you're joking. Or like, trivializing a delicate subject.
Of course they will, that's good actually. It'll help drive discourse and pull more people in, but the theoretical foundations of clown gender are totally solid. I think most of our fans will start caping for the idea. Especially the Sims.
Naturally, you can always count on the Sims for a strong base of support.
I fully expect the Sims to start identifying as clown gender in their bios. If not, I will be so disappointed in them.
I'm sure they won't let you down. Wait, does that mean there are clown pronouns?
Clowns? I actually did come up with pronouns one time, but I never included them in the manifesto.
Well, what were they?
Squeak, whim, whiz.
Well, I guess I can see why that didn't make the cut.
I think if I busted out the clown pronouns, people really would think I was taking a big gender piss. Yeah, I feel like that might be true. Plus, I think it would get fucking annoying if tons of people started referring to themselves as Squeak Himself and shit. There are certain decisions you can make with clown ideology that are just plain irresponsible.
Clearly, and we've shown nothing but impeccable restraint by promoting Pranksis.
Yeah, Pranksis is just telling everyone to do a bunch of hilarious crimes. It's fun.
So if there are no clown pronouns, how do clown gender people refer to themselves?
Literally any pronouns are applicable. He, she, they. The wildcard gender, like pulling out the Joker card for that part of your identity.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if I recall, there's a gender triangle with 3 genders, male, female, and clown on each point?
That's a bit simplistic. You're excluding non-binary from the spectrum. See, look. The pyramid is a gender continuum. Oh my god, there's a fucking chart! The bottom is horizontal axis, is a spectrum ranging from male to female with non-binary in the middle. That's all standard. You position yourself on this axis wherever you feel like, then moving up the y-axis takes you closer to clown gender. The higher you go, the less you resonate with the entire concept of gender at all. Like you're transcending the entire conventional spectrum and seeing gender for the farcical social construct it really is. That's why it's clown gender. It embodies a whimsical attitude toward the whole deal. Any pronouns are fine. A true clown gender person wouldn't care what they're called. They embrace all pronouns. Anyone at the peak of the pyramid is a full clown gender individual. After my stream today, I plan to come out as clown gender.
Oh, cool. You mean way at the top of the pyramid?
Yeah, it'll get the ball rolling on the idea. Then we step back and let the discourse fly.
But is it actually true that you identify that way?
It's true enough. I mean, I came up with all this shit, didn't I?
Wow, but you're taking this big step.
Oh, thank you.
I have to think about where I fit in your pyramid. I don't think I'm clown. I'm too cis-womany for that.
Yeah, you are. Take your time with it. Meditate deeply upon my clown gender continuum. One day Riotous will bless you with an answer.
Oh?
Oh god, I haven't even gotten to the lore yet. There's so much. He's a mythical clown figure. The first Jubilite who lived millions of years ago. He comes to see me in these crazy dreams sometimes, which is where I got most of this from. I'll probably start getting into this stuff in a few weeks.
Well, sure is something. People will probably flip out about it. I can barely even imagine the discourse surrounding whatever the hell this even is. Like, a story? A religion?
I'm sure it'll be complete pandemonium. Employing this material to the masses in its own way is a great form of pranksis, actually. It's like meta-pranksis.
So the introduction of Pranksis to the world is also Pranksis? Jesus.
Alright, ready to start streaming? Here, you can work the camera.
Okay.
You both carefully study the aftermath as your clown gender stream for the rest of the day. As expected, the discourse popping off. Passionate discussion flares up, resulting in a great many truly awful takes, whereas others begin enthusiastically plotting themselves somewhere on your clown gender pyramid. All the most dedicated Jubilates vibe with the material instantly and update their clown sonas accordingly. All in all, you consider it a very successful installment of your serialized manifesto, and you celebrate this with your friend in the customary manner, by continuing to loot her parents' supply of preposterously expensive wine. Abby, I have bad news.
What?
We ran out of wine that costs over $10,000.
Oh no!
I had to get this one off the fucking bargain shelf. It's only $8,000 according to the web. Guess we'll have to make do with this swill tonight.
Unbelievable. Forced to live like common peasants.
That's fine, we can rough it for a little while until our Pranksis ship comes in. Maybe we should debrief on that tonight.
Yeah, it's easy to lose track of our business objectives when everyone's in such a frenzy over clown gender.
The reception of my gender pyramid couldn't possibly be better. The discourse is exquisite, much more satisfying than the piss wine for beggars.
So where are we with this? Are you still seducing my mom?
Yeah, I am this close to getting her to want a divorce. It just needs another push or two. How are things going with your dad?
Good. I've certainly been talking to him a lot more frequently than he's ever come to expect. Which has actually made pulling the strings a lot easier. He's so delighted to be hearing from me often. I think it's made him a lot more willing to believe the stuff I'm saying. It almost makes me feel bad, kinda.
Don't feel bad. Remember, these are bad people, actually.
Oh, I know. It's hard to forget that, since the role-playing I've been doing is making me feel pretty gross.
Role-playing?
Yeah, I've gone really hard in the direction of acting like I've taken a sudden conservative turn in my beliefs.
Oh.
I mean, I still keep it believable. I still say I hate Trump and talk a lot of shit about Biden too because he's obviously a rapist. He gets a kick out of it when I rant like that because it wasn't even that long ago he hated Biden too before he started giving him millions of dollars, I mean.
Yeah, looks like he's got a new crush. Your dad ex-Biden. Sounds like an especially torrid old man yoy pick.
No. But also, yeah, pretty much. Like, I just go on like that. I barely even talk about Bitcoin anymore. That approach is too ham-fisted, it just makes it obvious I have some weird agenda after a while. Instead, I spend a lot of time trashing our fans, calling them like gullible socialist simps who hate America.
Well, that's basically what they are. Just so happens they're right to feel that way.
Yeah, I just do a lot of sneering at their liberal bullshit, as if my experiences with the fans have really opened my eyes towards sensible conservative thinking. See, the trick is to just take all the shitty things he's ever said about politics and, like, repackage those statements in my own voice and say it all back to him. You'd think it would be suspicious, me suddenly flipping on a bunch of political shit we used to argue about, but I just know how he thinks. He loves hearing it, so he wants to believe it's true, like it just confirms his biases, you know? He just assumes that I'm growing up, dispensing with my childish political beliefs and becoming the responsible heiress he always wanted me to be.
This is genius. You're literally the CEO of fucking Pranksus right now. I feel like a silly baby toying with your mother's heart.
No, your angle is so good. God knows they need a divorce. You're helping them, actually.
Yeah, they also have too much money, which turned them into shitheads, so we're doing them a favor by taking it, really.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I'm about to hit a wall, though. There are diminishing returns when it comes to email seduction. Like, she obviously doesn't suspect at all that she isn't that this isn't the real guy she's talking to. It's just, I start running out of ammo with the sexting shit, it gets repetitive, and there's no way to up the ante, cause it's not like I can call her.
Maybe what you need is a voice actor to play his part. It can really be any dude who's willing to bullshit through a fake affair as a rich Republican donor. Even someone much younger, like one of your simps, maybe.
It would have to be someone who wouldn't mind becoming deeply complicit in crypto fraud.
That probably describes like half of our followers? What?
Maybe it could be someone who's already complicit, even if he doesn't know it yet. Percy. You open your previous DM with Percy and pick up where you left off with your drunken conversation, like barely a day has gone by. This time you make sure your flirtation is considerably less hostile, which he appears to appreciate. He's more than appreciative, actually. His instincts as a devoted simp seem to be in overdrive now. Considering how much clout you've accumulated since you last spoke, he must feel quite special, given that he had a chance to speak with you when you only had a meager following of 1,000 people. This special feeling of elite ground floor access to you is a factor you can easily work to your advantage. By now, you doubt there's much you could ask of him that he wouldn't leap at the opportunity to help you with. And as a dedicated fan of your content, he should be more than thrilled to participate in a scheme which is such a quintessential act of practice. Pranksus. You consider how many simps would kill for a chance to be in his shoes. Feeling like simping. Or if not literally commit a murder, then to at least be framed for one. You decide not to mention your troubles with the law just yet, let alone the fact that you arbitrarily decided to implicate him in the slaying of a police officer. That would really kill the mood. You could also overwhelm him when you really need his wits as sharp as possible, so he could play the role of a wealthy suitor to a middle-aged billionaire woman. After all the flirtation and pleasantries are over, you and Abby retire to the living room as you continue walking through the play. Alright, let's sip this drink that I didn't mix properly before. Because you're supposed to shake it, apparently. I don't expect to shake a canned thing because, you know, sody pop type deal, and then they explode, and then you're covered in fucking syrup and sugar, and like, you're basically covered in everything that would make you a cereal commercial, right? Syrup and sugar goodness in every bite. on every fucking molecule of your coat. Just a minute. Alright. Thank you. Well, what was that rant? Cereal? The fuck? So, just to be... So, am I gonna give Percy their own voice? Because I clearly have given Abby their own voice. But do I even want to put a third voice on this shit? Because I wasn't considering Percy to be that important of a character before. Like, I knew they were gonna come back, but I just didn't want to think about it. No, I don't want to make another voice. I'm just gonna read it. So just to be clear, you're asking me to call your friend's mother and engage in various forms of amorous banter? Yeah, but Jesus, Percy. You're gonna have to turn on the charm a little better than that. Okay, I believe I can do that. Remember a few weeks ago when you slid into my DMs and started hitting on me? Well, I'm not sure it was like... I mean, don't get me wrong, I think you're cool and... God damn it, Percy, you were a very thirsty boy that night. Don't fuck with me on this. I know an eager simp when I see one. Your move worked, didn't it? Here I am talking to you again, asking you to help us out with some super important mission-critical shit. So it's time to stop doubting yourself. You clearly have some killer Chad instincts or whatever, which even you don't fully grasp yet. Wow. So now I just need you to help the movement by channeling that sick Chad energy toward a rich woman who's extremely lonely and horny. I do my best, but aside from participating in a series of sexually charged conversations with this woman, I'm not sure what else to say exactly. I don't have the context for their previous interactions or know anything about the character I'm supposed to be playing. Don't worry about that, I'll send you copies of all the email chains. I can also send you all the info I have on this guy. He's just some rich douche who gives Republicans a lot of money. She's met the guy once or twice, but otherwise never encounters him except for these fake emails I've been throwing at her. Yes, research material will be very helpful. Please send me everything you have. Percy, this is fucking amazing of you. It takes some real balls to do this. I hope you know how much I appreciate it. It's no problem, really. It sounds fun. I'm happy to help. And maybe after you've made some progress with our mark, you can hop a ferry over here. I mean, for real this time. Sorry if it sounded like I was fucking with you last time. No, it's okay. Sure, I'd love to. All I'm saying is, life on the island gets kinda lonely, you know? Like, real lonely. The pandemic isn't helping much either. Feels like an eternity since I, socialized, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I do. It's been quite some time since I had any company outside of work. I mean, just let me know when you'd like me to come. I'll be there. Oh yeah, that cool, Percy. Gotta go, bye. This is just some best friend, best gal pal stuff. Abby, I don't think I...
It's okay. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have.
No, it's fine. I don't want to hurt your feelings. It just seems like a bad idea.
Just got carried away. I know you're not into me that way.
I'm sorry, it's not that. It's just...
Don't have to apologize. You're straight. I get it. I know that. I just do pushy sometimes.
No, it's not even like... I'm not even that straight. I don't think you really understand me. Oh, yeah, fair.
I'd like to.
Abby, you're like the only person in this world I actually care about, and all that, like, what we just almost did for me, that's not... I don't know. It's certainly not about affection. More like a weapon.
Oh, that sounds sad?
Look at what I was just doing with Percy. This guy probably doesn't really deserve any of this.
You were just having some fun with him. And he likes it. It's so obvious that being able to help you out is like the best thing that ever happened to it.
Abby, I fucking framed him for cop murder.
Okay, yes, that was pretty bad, but you just panicked when talking to some cops. We can figure out how to deal with that. It wasn't like sending his photo was the result of some diabolical sexual con. You just fucked up, that's all.
Yeah, but it only happened because that was the day I began messing with him. Look, all I'm saying is I'm kind of fucked up about this subject. No matter what happens, I don't want to feel like I'm using that particular weapon against you. Does that make sense?
Totally.
I have to piss. We really flew through the dollar store wine tonight, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Let's head into the piss room. We're pissing. We're in the piss room. We're taking a little more of that psychic damage we saw in chapter 1. How are we feeling? Maybe a little rough. Influencers you name persons of interest in Nantucket. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I mean, this was bound to happen eventually. Uh-oh. Yeah, just uh-oh, I guess. Just uh-oh. No, yeah. What a chapter. I'm surprised we have time for another. I didn't think that chapter was gonna blow by that fast. But you know, you never know. You never know. We're loading up. Interlude 2, where we get told a little bit of a recap, I guess. Interlude 2. Uh-oh, it looks like the authorities are finally closing in. You knew this was coming. You've been sloppy, Jen. You set up a shoddy alibi, pinned the shit on an innocent simp for some reason, and started babbling to a first responder about the witness protection program, for God's sake. Well, you were not exactly dealing with a master criminal here. But I will say this much. We are dealing with a criminal who's got guts. And wherever there exist people with guts, there exist people who stand a chance. It took guts to dump that car in the Sound, it took guts to play it cool and start a kick-ass media empire out of the house of a highly visible internet celebrity. And it'll take even more guts to manage a brand with a million followers while you're a wanted felon making national headlines. So maybe it's time to put those guts to use. Maybe you're ready to make a real choice. You could always delete your account and pretend this never happened. That'd probably save you a ton of trouble. Or you could charge full steam ahead. Fuck the news, fuck the haters, and fuck the police. There isn't a force in heaven and earth that could slow your brand down now. So what will it be, Jen? Is it actually gonna let us choose something, or is this are we just noveling it through? Let's pretend. I just saved. Yep, no, we still don't get choices. Nah, whoops, okay, this is my fault. I knew damn well this wouldn't work, if I'm being totally honest. I just wanted to say hello again, remind you I exist, to remind you what the stakes are. The facts should have remained unchanged, though. The ability to make meaningful choices in this story are still only allowed to be unlocked by a true successor. And that still ain't you, but it does look like you're making some progress, so don't give up hope just yet. We'll check back in on you soon enough, just keep doing whatever it is you're doing. And I think we both know what that's gonna be, lol, because you're a fighter, Jen. That's what I love about you. Symbol of strength. Symbol of strength. 2 weeks later. How do you fucking get 2 weeks away from being a person of interest? In your cop murder. As an outlaw in the national spotlight, you've had to adapt your lifestyle over the last couple weeks. You can only assume the police have been keeping an eye on Abby's house. Rather than trap yourself in your studio around the clock, you've worked out a means of getting outside while staying under the radar. You slip out the back and head towards the beat. Abby was kind enough to provide you with her most expensive vehicle, the 2017 Bentley Continental, parked about 5 minutes down the coast. It's the least she could do, you think, given the life of austerity you've been otherwise forced to live as a fugitive. At the rich house. At your rich friend's house. Soon enough, you'll need some automotive mobility for practical purposes, but for now, it's good to just get out of the house and drive so you can think.
So much has happened in the past couple weeks, it's hard to keep track of it all, but you guess that's just life now. A little time alone behind the wheel of a luxury vehicle should help you organize your thoughts. Since you relaunched your brand, never in your wildest dreams did you imagine having more followers than Abby, let alone leapfrogging over her so quickly. Her following has been ticking up steadily too, but it's nothing compared to the rate of your fandom's growth. You are the star of this circus, and now even Abby's fanbase has to admit she's become a close orbiting satellite to your brand rather than the other way around as it once was. Something about the chaotic energy of the Jubilite craze combined with the drama of the dead cop scandal has resulted in transforming your social media presence into phenomenon status. The media's become obsessed. It's fascinating to many for its unusual and incendiary ideological focus, and just as captivating to others for resembling a slow-motion train wreck. There is a sense among your millions of new followers that the more sensational criminal elements surrounding the daily drama of your brand will only get worse, and people are here for it. You adamantly deny the accusations, of course, and expertly weave these denunciations into your performance to magnify the attention to your accounts. Since the natural targets of your screeds are the corrupt government, corporations, and police forces around the nation which only serve to protect their power and wealth, it's been pretty easy to conjure a narrative framing these accusations as an attempt by powerful forces to silence. By the looks of it, most of your followers are willing to believe your denunciations, and not many of them were big fans of law enforcement to begin with anyway. It's just more fuel for your showmanship, a story that's easy to sell to a hungry crowd. Almost as easy to sell as Abby's parents have been on your recent pranks this effort. On that front, it's been like shooting fish in a barrel. Abby has her dad deeply concerned about market volatility and selling off huge amounts of stock to buy Bitcoin, and she then enthusiastically funneled into your spoof wallet. You and Percy have been working her mom, who's been doing the same thing with a totally separate spoof wallet unbeknownst to her husband, in anticipation of carving out a portion of their assets which she can make off with after the imminent divorce. Every time they make new deposits, you're sure to quickly reroute those funds to offshore accounts under your control. Meanwhile, you maintain fake back-end sites for them to look at, which makes it appear their deposits are still secure. They're both so caught up in the process it hasn't even occurred to them to wonder if they're being robbed. Percy's been an invaluable accessory to the ruse. He now needs minimal instruction to play the role of Abby's mom's lover. They exchange racy photos and sext messages frequently between their phone calls. You've had a lot of fun photoshopping the head of the man she believes she's talking to onto the body shots sourced from amateur porn. You've got some pretty steamy pics back from her in return, but you spare Abby the drama of sharing those with her. Percy has made plans to come to the island tomorrow to help out with some new projects you're working on. Having another set of hands will be helpful as you move into more ambitious phases of your brand's development, especially while you're trying to keep a low profile. Of course, it's nagging at you that the police have this photo. You still haven't told them. You just can't seem to find the right moment. It would be such a downer having to explain something like that when you're both having such a good time swindling billionaires. You'll get around to it someday. Besides, he knows perfectly well you're connected to a murder in the news, and now you must know how deeply implicated he is in a fraud scheme as well. No matter what you have or haven't told him, he has to understand the truth. There's no going back. For old time's sake, you head down the street of your apartment. You haven't seen the place in weeks, not since the night this all began. No squad cars anywhere. Not surprising, since they've probably taken all the evidence they need from your place already. You suppose that means there's no reason to even try entering anymore. All your stuff, your beloved posters, liquor bottles, and nasty macaroni pots, it's all probably in an evidence room somewhere by now. You never liked the place much, but it's still sad to think that chapter of your life's over for good. You head back to the remote parking spot Abby found for you and begin your shoreline trek back to your hideout. You're in no hurry. The scenic walk gives you more time to think about the big plans you have brewing and the preposterous amount of newfound financial flexibility you have to put them into motion. If only Percy knew what you really had in store for him on this island. Abby too, for that matter. But it's better to reveal your more ambitious ideas to people in smaller doses. Uh-oh. It's the guy. The dream guy. Dream Dad. And he's gone. Later. You're not Dream Daddy.
How much did they deposit today?
Your dad put in around 350 million, your mom only about 100. That's actually a lot for her, the biggest deposit she's made yet.
Wow.
I can't believe how casually these people peel off another 100 million bucks like it's a $10 bill. Money seems so abstract and meaningless to them. No wonder this is turning out so easy.
I'm not sure if I'd call it easy. I feel depraved pretending to talk like a Republican. Saying some of the shit I've said has made me feel so much dirtier than if all we were doing was stealing money. At least your side of the operation is more fun.
I'm hardly even doing anything anymore. Percy's been doing most of it lately. He's coaching her very well on working their assets. He's turning out to be a pretty good con artist.
Well, that's only because you are. You're the one coaching him.
I don't know, I barely talked to these people at all except for initially seducing your mom in a shitty email chain. You're the one who somehow turned your dad into a slobbering crypto junkie. Dude literally believes our entire economic system's on the brink of collapse and Bitcoin is the only safe haven now. They said my name.
It's true, he's really obsessed with this project now.
To be fair, our entire economic system actually is on the verge of collapse, but whatever. He won't even be affected by the collapse, because all his money will be gone by then.
Yeah. How much do you have now?
Almost 5 billion.
Fuck, that's so much!
Certainly nothing to sneeze at.
And you're absolutely sure it's like ours?
Yeah, except for what they deposited today, none of the money is still in my spoof wallet. I resell the coins quickly and spread it out across a bunch of foreign accounts.
When you actually just opened a bunch of Swiss accounts or some shit like in the movies?
Well, they're not mine exactly, they're all in your name. It's less suspicious that way, since, you know, you're actually a rich person and I'm a fucking wanted felon.
When you look at it that way, I guess this is really just an elaborate early inheritance scheme?
Yeah.
So they can't see that you're just sucking the bitcoins out right after they put them in.
Nope, they only see what I want them to. Well, let's make it look like the coins are still there. They'll only run into a problem if they try to sell them. And I don't see that happening soon. Your folks are awful bullish on crypto suddenly.
When you say their money is all going to be gone, are you really going to try to get all of it?
That would be ideal, but we're going to hit a wall soon. I don't even think your dad's dumb enough to convert his entire fortune into Bitcoin. And Percy tells me it sounds like the remaining assets are going to be a lot harder to move, much less liquidity than whatever they've been trading to buy coins we've got so far.
You must be in really deep with my mom to find out anything like that.
Oh yeah, he is. I mean, we both are. We tag team this. I listen in on his calls with her and sometimes text him notes on where to steer the conversation.
God.
Also in charge of supplying the thirst trap shots.
What?
Abs, this courtship is at a whole nother level now. Percy's putting on quite a show with his very masculine, Republican-sounding voice. Naturally, there's gonna be some sexting too. Like with actual photos.
Percy's sending my mom nudes?
No, I just photoshopped them. It's easy to find face shots of this real dude she thinks she's talking to, and I just paste them on top of like amateur porn.
Wow.
Boy, does she reciprocate. And I must say, Abby, your mother is one hot bitch.
Oh Jesus, I'm not sure I want to see any of this shit.
Well, I wasn't planning on sharing my gallery of your slutty mom shots, don't worry. It's my private collection.
Oh my god, you mischievous whore.
Anyway, I can see where you get it from. Fucking yowza. Yeah, the private collection.
Lol, yeah, she's quite attractive. I mean, she was a trophy wife once upon a time.
Almost feel sorry for her developing a sort of kinship with her, actually.
Why?
Because we both want to rip off your dad. It just so happens I'm the only one actually succeeding. Whatever. She can take solace in the fact that her daughter turned out to be 1 billion times the gold digger than she ever was.
That's true, it turns out I'm quite rich. And I had to do even less to get my shady funds than my criminal dad did. Now all I need is my own trophy wife.
How?
Hey, let's be
Clear who would be whose trophy wife? If anything, you'd be mine since I have way more clout now.
excuse me, Z, but didn't I just hear you say all these bank accounts are in my name?
Damn, you're right. I guess I don't know whose fucking money this really is.
According to the tenets of Praxis, nobody really owns it. It's all fake shit, just like gender and all the other stuff you like to rant about. Money's just a little numbers on computers mostly, moving around all the time, but not really doing the world much good. We might as well make our move, we might as well move it our way to make some better things happen.
I can't believe how thoroughly I've converted you to Jubilitism. I thought your parents were supposed to be the easy marks falling for all this Bitcoin shit, but you make them look like stone-faced skeptics.
Oh, well,
I have to keep sucking up to your old clown religion if I want to be your trophy wife someday. How else am I gonna cash in on my own money?
Well, that's extremely fair. Carry on with your ass kissing then. You haven't even heard the good shit yet.
What's the good shit?
Like advanced lessons and prankses? If you like what we've been already doing. Oh, so if you like what we've already been doing, the advanced shit would knock your socks off.
Oh lord.
These are the kinds of methods we'll need to start employing if we want to get the rest of their money. Plus a lot more from other sources. We aren't exactly the only billionaires in the world, you know?
Unbelievable. You've got $5 billion in the bank. You just want to keep hustling.
Hell yeah. We're on a mission here, why slow down?
I just can't even imagine what you're planning on doing. What you plan on doing with all this money? You can't even show your face in public because you're a cop killer.
Doesn't matter if you can't imagine it, I can. It all just feeds into more pranks, more money, more publicity, more financial influence and leverage around the world, more pranks.
Alright, but what if we slowed it down a bit and, like, just tried to enjoy this more? I feel like I keep coming back to that. This was supposed to be fun.
It is fun. Pranks is fun. It's its own reward. You know why people play pranks? Because that shit's fun.
Okay, I can't argue with that. But it's also very risky, high-stakes stuff, and I don't know. There's other stuff to think about.
Like what?
Well, I have ideas too.
Oh, do you now? Since when?
Since always, I'm full of ideas.
Not sure I like hearing this. I'm not getting myself a trophy wife so she can do a bunch of thinking.
Well, fuck you. I'm not gonna be your trophy wife. Either you're gonna be mine or the marriage is off.
Holy shit, yes ma'am. So tell me your huge brain ideas. When you're done with my dick flattening, I mean.
I've been thinking a lot about your clown gender stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounds silly at first, but it's kind of a brainworm. I've been considering where I fit on the triangle.
What have you decided?
I don't know if anything fully speaks to me yet. I just wonder if some adjustments could be made to the system.
Adjustments?
I mean, since it's kind of a silly system that you just pulled out of your ass anyway.
Abby, I did not pull this out of my ass. It's extremely serious.
Oh sure, saying you identify as clown gender is the most serious thing in the world. Who could argue with that?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know you believe in the ideas. I'm just saying, since you're so creative and all and extra serious about gender philosophy, maybe you could, like, do something with horse gender?
Horse gender!
Yeah, why not?
Abby, that is patently absurd. Fuck you, Z! Anyway.
No, it's not. It's not any more absurd than clown gender. But it doesn't have to be, if you actually think about it and make it work. Come on, can't you do it for me?
I think you just want to identify as horse gender no matter what logic I come up with.
So what if I do? Isn't that my right?
Well, yeah, it is. Maybe you have a good point. God damn it, I can't believe I'm letting you strong-arm me into revising my manifesto extemporaneously.
Nobody would even know you're revising it. You're just releasing a new chapter, elaborating on it. I like how you're still going to reveal advanced pranksis or whatever.
That's true. Alright, give me a minute. Let me sketch one of these. You and Abby head right back to the gender drawing board. She's given you an interesting challenge, handed you an oddly shaped shoe, if you will, and it's your job to make it fit. After playing with your continuum of it, you decide... Yeah, see? Z's on board now. You don't want to revolutionize your own system too much, since everyone's already acclimated to the logic of the pyramid. Your goal is to enrich everyone's understanding of gender, not vex them with increasingly convoluted nonsense. After a couple hours, you think you have something workable here. You and Abby are too excited about it to sit on it though. You decide to improvise a live stream right now to inform everyone of your astounding new breakthrough. I'm sure you will all be thrilled to hear I've made some astounding new breakthroughs on the jewel-like philosophy of gender. I have just two words to say. Horse gender. As you can see, the pyramid-shaped continuum remains intact, but the y-axis has been expanded to go even lower, which means that while horizontally we have the conventional male-female gender spectrum, vertically, we now also have the clown-horse gender spectrum. Both axes, of course, are a fluid spectrum. You can position yourself anywhere on this continuum that feels true to your experience. So what's horse gender? Glad you asked. It represents the extreme counterpoint to clown gender. Where clown gender embodies a whimsical, absolute lack of identification with the conventional gender spectrum, or even the entire idea of gender, well, horse gender is the opposite. It means extreme identification with any given gender on the horizontal axis. So if you're a horse-gendered male, it means you're saying you feel extremely male. Or if you're a horse-gendered woman, you're like, God damn, am I a fucking woman. I guess an example of this would be like TERFs? I mean, don't take that too literally. I don't want to taint horse gender for everybody right out of the gate. You could also be hella woman identified without being weird and turfy about it, and that would still be a totally valid horse gender feeling. Like my friend Abby, she's a proud horsewoman. So I think you get the idea. Move up the scale toward clown, you hardly give a fuck, you're a wild card, untethered from this maddening social construct. Move down toward horse and you're digging in. Where clown is a symbol of whimsy, horse is a symbol of strength. You're like, hell yeah, I'm this fucking gender, and that's cool. And there's nothing wrong with that, the system accounts for it, all points on this continuum are equally valid. And notice in the middle of the scale, vertically between horse and clown, that's just the average gender spectrum, that's where you are if you don't feel super strong or weak about your identity either way. And if that's you, also fucking valid. So having said that, allow me to illustrate some examples of putting this into practice, as I see it. Now, I don't claim to speak for these people. You should try to see these as like my headcanons, I guess? They can come forward and set the record straight if they want. Post, I'm looking at you. Just joking, man, you don't gotta. But you can. Okay, The Rock is on here. Barack Obama's on here. Fucking Turf is on here. I don't know these other people. I mean, Post Malone's on here. Let's see. Hey, what do you want from me? She gets all up to all this fucking turfy shit. Seems to me if she wants to park herself in a barn and make a big turfy bed made out of like hay or whatever, and wacky gender essentialism, then she's more than welcome to do that. Just lands her on the horsewoman point of the triangle, is all I'm saying. Go on, let her whinny, or don't. Drag her to the glue factory if you really must. I'm not here to police your online activism, I'm only here to report on all the good shit when it comes to my kick-ass gender pyramid. The point is, all of this is accounted for in the diagram. Know this and be free. Alright, is that enough of fucking that yet? You bet it is. So it's the same chart. I'm not gonna say we had another fucking chart. Same chart. Just expanded. And you know, you bask in the aftermath, whatever that aftermath is. Okay. Your cosmic self is a little more reflective of the clown. You know, let's take another moment. We're gonna take a moment to talk about Andrew Hussey again. Because, like, they're like, interesting clowns isn't something that started in Homestuck, right? They have a whole fucking, Whistles the Clown? The whole fucking comic they did? So, like, I don't know, clown is just a whole thing for Andrew Hussey. Alright, that's our brief clown tangent. Meanwhile, let's take a little psychic walk around the property, around the town, around the galaxy. And take the hand of an almighty other being. We're getting a little more detail now. We didn't have any kind of eye-like shapes before, but we've got diamonds and the little white diamonds. Okay. A little bit of a Bowie kind of vibe. You've been doing very well. Yep, that's it. That's all you get. Space clown you've talked about before, whatever the fuck he is proud of you. I don't fucking remember what name you gave it or what. And there's your dead dad again, or maybe more dead beings. Looking at, yeah, could, dead parents. Yeah, at least one. Just the recommended amount is at least one. The next day. Okay. You checked your phone. You notice the date happens to be the 20th of May, exactly 1 month since the night you went on that fateful drive with your manifesto. Today Percy is scheduled to arrive so he can assist with your new project. You wait for his ferry from inside the Bentley, parked at a distance to stay out of sight. You haven't been here since the night you disposed of the squad car. You find yourself glancing in that direction now and then. You have no idea if they dredged the car out of the water yet, or if they even figured out that's where it ended up. That incriminating dash camera footage was probably completely wiped out after being submerged in salt water for weeks. You guess you're relieved about that, but then with the amount of hysteria there is about this case in the media, that footage hardly seems to matter anymore. You're who they're looking for, and nothing can change that. All you can really do now is make sure you don't get caught. And there's Percy. He radiates the nervous energy of an eager simp. He looks around for you, but of course he won't be getting out of the car. You'll just text him to come find you. Oh shit. Shit. Cops must have been waiting for Percy to arrive before making their move. Were they tracking him from the mainland too? How'd they figure out who he was? Yeah, Flan, you got this motherfucker arrested. They got him. Z got him arrested. They arrested Percy. Maybe they ran some facial recognition software on the photo you sent and something finally turned up in their system? Whatever the case, this won't do at all. They take him into custody, interrogate him, and take his phone. This is all over. They'll close in on you and Abby in no time. You need to deal with this now. So what are you doing? You're chasing the cop car? Oh my god. You're like taking weird routes and intercepting it? Driving like a fucking maniac? Are you gonna fucking Christian Bale Batman crash into this cop car? What is your plan? What is your plan? Oh, you are Christian Bale Batmaning this cop car. Yup. That's your plan. Oh my god, are you doing it again? So you better hurry. If you're gonna be killing cops, you better not fucking hesitate. People are running, people fucking saw you. You went from probably killed a cop to have definitely killed 3 cops. Damn. So okay. We're unarresting Percy now. And of course you're on the run. That was a very expensive car to do this in. You really did Christian Bale Batman this motherfucker. Oh. The old restaurant you work at? Okay, see if you get in. Will you still have the keys? Oh no, that's not gonna help you. Gunshot probably lets people know where you fucking are? It's not a great plan. All the tables and chairs are put away, no one set foot inside here. Perfect for hiding, but in most other ways, it sucks. There's no drowning with the evidence down for what you did this time. Eyewitnesses. Yeah, you fucked this up. You nearly forgot Percy. Hey Percy, are you okay? Oh man, you're bleeding, wait. Oh no, that's just my blood. I guess I fucked myself up in the crash. Oh, I thought one of my bullets got you. Listen, there's something I need to confess. You know how I've been saying all those cop killing accusations are lies? Well, I actually did it. I killed the cop in self-defense and covered it up. Nah, I mean, maybe that's not the stunning news I think it is, considering, like, I just shot 2 cops right in front of you to bust you out of custody. Lamau. That's not actually what I wanted to confess. See, the reason they arrested you is... man, why is this so hard to admit? The cops got your picture because I roped you into all this Bitcoin scam shit. That's what it was. It's all my fault. I got you into this mess. I suckered you into a pranksters record, and now you're a wanted felon just like me. In my defense, I was just having too much fun scamming those rich boomers with you. You're a natural at it, and I was on such a roll making fake amateur nudes in Photoshop and shit. Now maybe this sounds selfish to me, but I wouldn't change a thing, even though it got you in trouble with the law. Well, got both of us in trouble. I know how you must be feeling. I've been feeling it for weeks, that sense that your life is never going to be the same again, that you'll always be looking over your shoulder, that the name Percy is forever going to be associated with these crimes, and there's nothing left to do but keep fighting until the threat is fully destroyed. But here's the good news. No matter how much the media drags the name Percy through the mud from now on, we both know there is no Percy anymore. Percy died today. You are no longer a humble human simp. You are a Jubilite now, and forever, you are Percy. Hey, Nikki! Actually, what a great time to sing. If you're gonna, you can at least say piss pony. Oh no, then I'm a piss pony. Fuck. Never mind. Don't, whatever I'm saying about that, ignore it. I don't want to be a piss pony. I fucked it up. And here we are, weaponizing sexuality as we talked about in an earlier chapter. So, okay. In this visual novel-ass game, the main character has started out by getting pulled over for a drunk driving crash by a cop who shoots at them because they, I guess, thought the manifesto that they had reached for was a gun, and then, like, clearly wasn't. Anyway, the cop shoots at her, misses, she leaps at the cop, ends up killing the cop, and then, like, they hide out at their rich friend's house while deciding to bring their manifesto, which is very clown-focused, into reality. And now a simp that they brought in to, like, manipulate and help them with their plans got arrested trying to come over on the ferry, and Christian Bale Batman crashed their rich friend's car into a police car and shot the two cops driving it in order to unarrest this character, and they're hiding out in an old restaurant they used to work. Also, you know, they have a huge following with their clown manifesto bullshit on the internet, so it's very cult-like religion kind of thing going on. And also there's some, like, psychic out-of-body experiences with their dead father and some kind of clown god. So that's the recap of what's happening in the game. Oh, and also they have a problematic past and have invented clown gender and horse gender. It's a lot going on here. And of course a now big police search. Previously, oh, I'm good. I'm not the character Z who has fucked up their whole life. And who is getting policed on. I do not think we have time to complete another chapter, though, which is probably going to mean that's going to be stream. But here's what I will say. I don't know if I'm going to keep playing this game on stream. It is very interesting, but again, I don't tend to do visual novels or things I have to read a lot on stream. I don't tend to think they're the greatest stream content for me to just do a bunch of reading. I don't feel bad about doing this game, like, on a stream for it being a visual novel because I think it's free. I think Cyclonials is free. so you could just play it. I'm not. Oh yeah, what should I play? Slime Rancher. I might have access to Slime Rancher. Maybe I'll play it sometime. Maybe I'll give it at least one stream. But I think I have it in my Steam family share. I don't have it personally, but I think it might be in my family library. I'll check. Actually, you know what? Let's check right now. Give it a shot. Let's see what's in the Steam family library. Is Slime Rancher in there? I do. I have access to it. I have access to Slime Rancher, the original one. It's cute. The slimes are cute, and I can certainly. Yeah, I have it. Again, in my family library. Anyway, unfortunate that you're coming in right at the end of stream, but I do appreciate you showing up, and you prompted me to give a short recap of what from the recap is obviously a game with a plot that is already fucking apeshit. So I'm glad. Maybe I'll clip that. Maybe I'll clip the recap. Give me something to clip. Yeah. And then, you know, at least to see the stream. Yeah, welcome. This is another day where I don't feel like I'm gonna raid out. Mostly because, you know, not a lot of people are turning up for me reading a visual novel. That's what I'm saying. But those who did show up, thank you. Thank you for showing up. I know Cotton and Ruby were here. Starfire was here. You were here. Hold on, let me take a sip of my fucking... Just a second. Alright. Tasty. But yeah. I will be... Trace wasn't here. Maybe Trace is streaming tomorrow. Trace has got some stuff going on lately. They're kind of busy. I'll be back next week. Allegedly. Unless something happens. I'll let you know. On my socials. Love y'all. Thanks for coming out. And we're in the static. Oh god. Oh god. Anyway, I'm gonna cut stream now. Have a great one. Have a good evening, everyone. Every creature. Good night, night.